Yes, sir. Easy.
Yeah, I'm in go mode, go. Yeah, I'm in go mode, go mode.
What's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of the OSA Out of Shape Allstars, episode 13, right? 13? That's what we got?
13.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah. 13.
Episode
Episode 13. Y'all niggas don't even know. Y'all
Episode
just said,
13
I forgot.
Monday the 13th.
Back.
Oh, look at
That's,
Hey,
check that
John.
out.
Now
Check that
that's
out.
an
This-
entanglement.
that. How many of those can we get through this week?
Well,
That's the goal. We're going to keep a tally. We're going to keep a tally.
Welcome to OSA. Are we playing entanglement? We're trying to see how many entanglements we can get in this pod. But again, like always, this pod is brought to you by Culture Capsule and sponsored by Don's Inc. Dreams Over Negativity for Success. Now, we got a full show for you guys. But before we get into it, got to go around and get to the cast. First and foremost, we're going to get to our faithful leader, the host of this show, Eddie Horchata.
Yo.
Next up, we got our local sneakerhead, Just DQ.
Yep.
We got the homie, always rapping with the Don's apparel. He got the hat, he got the shirt on. He got some on Don's every episode. Give it up for the homie K-Jet.
Yo.
We got my boy he's been doing his thing lately, been faithfully here, loyally on time. Give it up for AB, Andrew Durant.
Yo, don't be like I'm never on time. But hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
And we got the homie. I ain't got nothing bad to say about you, John. Johnny Fry. Johnny Cinco in the building. And last but not least, I'm your ref, the mediator, moderator. My mom called me Devin, so you can call me Devin. I'm here. Y'all, hey guys, y'all ready to do this?
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's get into it. In case you missed it, we're discussing the Washington Blanks because we don't know what their name is now. The team that was formerly the Washington Redskins. Okay, what happened? What happened? We just got
It wasn't me. Wasn't me.
All right, so
Johnny.
No, it wasn't me.
the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins have announced that they will definitely be changing the name. What the name going to be, we don't know. And because of that, we got some funny and some wild shit going on with the name. Jonny, what's going on with this trademarking name, slogan shit regarding the Washington Blanks?
A realtor company trademarked all the names that Washington had.
The possible names.
As potential names.
Right.
Whatever list they had. A realtor company basically.
John, real quick, it was one guy, actually, who is a realtor.
Yeah.
Oh.
One guy.
But
Not
it's
the
his
company. It was just the one guy.
Who happens to be a realtor.
Company though? He doesn't own the company.
Well, maybe he does, but it's one guy who happens to be a realtor.
Okay. So
they basically trademarked it, and basically now Washington was supposed to announce a new name, but I believe that has hindered.
now what was the potential names?
Red Wolves was one.
Red Tails, right? Or something to that extent.
You got Tribe, Monuments, Veterans, Renegade, Gridiron, Football,
I know
whatever
the
that
Warriors
means.
is a favorite at one point. The Washington Warriors is favorite at one point. But I guess throughout the weekend, it was going back and forth, and then news broke that somebody trademarked all the names. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So they want one of those names, they're gonna have to pay. But if I was them, I'd say, fuck that shit.
I mean,
a whole new name.
I know they're trying to keep it true to the red something because you were just saying, Eddie, they want
You need to pay that man.
Yeah, they want to keep the hail to the red blanks.
Right.
They want to keep the slogan that's HTTR. That's their big thing. That's what they're known for.
All right, now since this man or this realtor company brought up all the potential names, do anybody got any suggestions for possible red somethings when it comes to the team? No? Yes, no, maybe so?
I mean, I'm with Johnny. I want the Sentinels, but that's not going to happen.
Sentinels.
Just go.
I want the Washington Monument so everybody can be
But
pissed.
again,
But the Bulldogs up? Like
the red-
Washington Bulldogs?
the red signals, though, the red They don't.
Nah,
The Red Warriors don't sound bad.
But then you can do
just
that.
the
I mean,
Washington
well, the Warriors
like,
have
you
to
don't
change
to
their
be the
thing
Red
too.
something.
You know.
No, but the Red Warriors will be, I don't know, it might be perceived close to similar as how the Redskins was perceived, though.
Oh, right, because it's the Red Warriors. So it's
Yeah,
like,
Right.
Nah, but
it
like,
might be
can you
close.
just name it the Washington Warriors? Like, why it had to be the Red Warriors? Like, I know they're trying to
Because they want to
keep
stay
that-
true to that hail to the whatever, but they want to arm.
I mean, you can go off with that. It's like create a new hashtag. Like you
Hail
did
to
before
the what Warriors?
hail to the.
Yeah, but they're about to lose a lot of money. They have to pull all the old gear, and then
Yeah, but you had to do that anyway, though.
They're just trying, they're trying to make the money.
Nah, they in crunch time mode right now because initially they were saying the new name would be by the end of 2021, but now they in crunch time mode.
right.
I mean, ultimately, Red Wolves and Red Tails seem to be at the top. I'm pretty sure this guy's just going to get paid.
I'm not gonna lie. When I played Madden, when I used to make teams, I used to always call.
They used to be a wolf.
I used to call my team the Bandits. I just stand. They just call them.
Oh, it had that one fucking logo with the bandit and the
The
white
Renegades
eyes.
use that.
Yeah.
Like the XFL team literally used that same exact logo.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't knocking Buddy. He gonna get his bread because they gonna eventually pay him off. Like, bro, stop playing with us.
There's a whole bunch.
I agree with John. They ain't gonna use no name off that list now. Like if they got to pay him some money, he ain't gonna fuck.
Nah, they might.
He might. He's got a lot of money.
They might bless that man.
We will see.
Needless to say, it's got to be an entanglement, and it's just a mess. And
That's two.
You have like a counter.
I will put the counter. I'll put the counter in the corner. All right. So moving on. We get into y'all some asses. We get into the Zion saga. Now, if you ain't been paying attention, Zion Williamson, who plays for the Pelicans, has been going back and forth with this lady, Gina Ford, from Ford Management, in regards to she tried to get paid. She said that he had a deal with her to be under her management. Once he declared for the NBA, he broke the deal because she had an agreement with him, whereas because he was a college athlete, you can't have a manager. So he can finagle that deal. Right, so he was able to
that service in the first place.
Right, he was able to sue and get out the deal because he wasn't supposed to have that service. Now, Gina has stepped forward with a new affidavit in regards to Zion's father.
Stepdad.
Father.
His
His stepdad allegedly receiving $400K in payment from a management company from Ontario, Canada. So the company is Maximum Management Group. Now, and this was supposed to be before Zion went to Duke. Now, this is how she tried to finagle the situation. Okay. She had to deal with Zion while he was an active college athlete. Boom. He was able to sue and get out of that. Now, this deal with this Maxim Management allegedly happened before Zion went to Duke, so which would make him ineligible to be a college athlete. So the year at Duke, basically, if she gets it her way, didn't count. So because of that, she, in fact, is able to hold him to whatever this Gina Ford management deal she had with him because he wasn't supposed to play. That wasn't supposed to exist in college. So, in fact, he would still be entitled or still be contractually under her management company where she can get her $100 million that she was trying to sue for.
It sounds like a whole lot of fuckery.
Did y'all get that? So this is definitely an entanglement because
bro.
She's not letting up. Allegedly, her lawyer has an affidavit from Maxim, which was Zion's previous management before her, saying that the dad did receive this $400K. Where's that affidavit? It still hasn't come up yet, but that deal was canceled. So being that he had this original deal, he wasn't supposed to play in college. In fact, meaning that her deal is still valid. And because he tried to sue, now she can in return sue him because he would technically still be under her management.
Got it.
But honestly though, if she's trying to say like you like doing the terms that I should not be in college, like she's trying to do that, right?
Right.
Like, but wouldn't that fall under like stuff like with Duke? Like when Duke would be for that wouldn't be on Zion, that would be on Duke.
No, it would be on Zion because this deal that happened with Maxim happened prior to him going to Duke.
Yeah, before this before he committed or
before he played. I don't know if it was before.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess that's like the thing, though, right? Because if he was already committed, then I get Zion. You know, like obviously we're back in Zion, we ain't back in her. I mean, obviously everybody on this podcast feels like players should get paid for their likeness, for their names. University get a lot of money from them anyway. So forget all that, like duh. But yeah, I mean, if he was already committed, that means he was gonna go to college anyway.
Right.
So
exactly. Yeah.
Like, you know, we poking holes in her case.
Yeah, and again, this company Maxim never said anything. There was never any suit from them, like saying the dad owe us money.
So she's on her own at this point.
Yeah. So she's
just mad.
Yeah, she basically saying she's trying to prove that the dad got $400K from this company.
Right.
This company never has said. This company never has come forward to say, "Oh, Zion owe us any money due to his dad taking it." She's just trying to prove that he wasn't eligible for college, so the deal that they signed should still be legally binding because he shouldn't have been playing in the beginning.
Well, so what's the end game? I'm like,
her getting $100 million. She wants.
Yeah, exactly. She's suing for $100 million. Yeah, she's chasing a bag.
Right, she's still trying to.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like the dad that finally sees his son being successful in sports and being like, "Hey, I'm your daddy that left you." It's like, this sounds like the cousin that calls you that you never heard of when you win the lottery.
Right.
Again, this is just like, "Hey, I was there for you for this small little brief point in your life, and I feel like I'm owed some money. So if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna blackmail you, and I'm gonna get my bag either way. But either way, she ain't gonna get shit."
Again, because her whole thing is proven reason behind her suit because again when she first put it out there it's like, well, he wasn't supposed to be signed because he was a college athlete, so done. Now she's like, okay, you right, he wasn't supposed to sign the deal, but he wasn't supposed to be playing college basketball either because of this former deal. So because he wasn't supposed to be playing, he's supposed to legally be still with me, and because he left, I can sue him for $100 million.
You know what Zion do? Like Zion needs to just do what all rich celebrities do. Like give mediation, kick a little some millions. Just get out.
No, it's not worth it.
So you want him to settle?
Talking about settling.
You know the chump change, bro. Like,
she'll make it public.
Hell no.
Yeah.
She'll make it public. I mean, it's not on the dossier here, and we didn't talk about it. But I remember we talked about the Giants cornerback Baker. Obviously it was known he gave away some hush money to make this whole thing go away, and now he's getting caught up again on it because now the witnesses are saying they have like a text trade. Tried doing it on like Cash App. It was like, when you can send memos on Venmo and shit, it was like, oh, like thanks for the sandwich or some dumb shit. Or like, oh, rent money to your roommate. This dude was like, yeah, for keeping your mouth shut. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, again, she's not gonna be quiet, even if they do settle on like
emoji and shit like.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, she's clearly not making this go away.
That's a lot. She wants to settle. A lot. She wants to win. The only way it's going away if she loses. And if she loses, she still might come back and try to fight.
And at the end of the day, Zion can probably afford the best lawyers in the fucking world. So,
Zion is really not focused on this. You know, he got his powers to be his legal team to take care of it. He's in Orlando trying to get prepared for this.
He's in the bubble.
He's in the bubble.
So he has his is in the back of his mind.
But he got his legal team to take care of it. But she is not stopping. So you best believe we're gonna be talking about this for quite some time because she ain't giving up. She coming with a new angle. She coming with a new angle every time. So
shit, I don't blame her. I wouldn't either if I was her. Shit,
because she definitely not getting the $400 million from me.
Yeah.
Hell no, bro. Like I'm
taking all interviews.
A couple. You ain't getting no $400 million.
I'm sitting at a red table getting entangled.
It always felt fishy the fact that like Like eventually,
we're gonna burn this shit out. It's all crazy now.
What you say, DQ?
I'm saying it always felt fishy, like even in general, like that they mentioned his stepdad, because like even when I said like a few weeks ago, like his stepdad's a perfect person to put in this plot, because like I said in an interview, he literally says in front of cameras, like I had a shot at the NBA, but I got injured day for my tryout, and I always had a dream my son will make it to play professional basketball, even though it's not his biological son. So what is region? It's still his father, but he's still like he can still do some foul shit to him, like not really feeling your own shit really if you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the thing is, like, you know, people come from unfortunate situations, and you have, again, these collegiate athletes who come from nothing, and their families are paying and trying to push them and put them in a position to change things. And shit like this happen. Now, I'm not saying it's true or not, but this type of things happen. They need to be paying these players, and we would be having shit like this happening anyway. But moving on. So we're still speaking in collegiate sports, but we're going to football. Now, everybody, we want sports, but COVID is undefeated. So what college football is doing, and it started with Big Ten, all conference only sports. So basically kind of like what football was saying, you only play, baseball, you only play teams in your region. So in college, the Big Ten decided that if football does happen, because everything is still on the table, but if football happens, their stance is we're only going to play people or play teams within our conference to help keep COVID rates down. So after they said that, then the Pac-12 jumped on, but it's still a lot of, when it comes to the Power Five, you got the Big Ten, Pac-12, SEC, ACC, Big 12.
Yeah, you got those other like lower league teams.
Right, it's few of them that's still up in the air about it, because again, it's not the big games. You won't be playing against the big teams from the different conferences. You only be playing against the teams in your conference. If you got a weak ass conference, or your conference is only top heavy, where it's like the only top four is good, but everybody else is trash. Is that gonna make?
Would they be averaging 100 points a game?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, is that gonna make for good sports? So, Eddie, do you agree with the conference only sports, at least in the interim? I don't know. And again, they don't know if this is going to actually happen, because college sports is still up in the air. But the Big Ten did decide, like, come forth and say, okay, if it does start, this is where we're going to start.
Right. So competitively, I think, maybe it could be like what we were saying, like you're going to see teams get blown out. I think like, going into like upperclassmen that are going to go into the draft, like I'm sure they're going to look like superstars and studs, and I feel like they might get ranked a little too high, maybe.
Right.
It's like you kind of have to like see it outside of a bubble. It's like, if this quarterback does well against these garbage teams in his conference, like how's he going to do up against like real teams and like for a college playoffs? So, like that's the negative where I see about it, like competitively. But obviously, with all these schools closing, all these schools can potentially close because the college sport is what keeps them going. The ratings, the revenue, the people going in. I think it's the best way to save college football if we want to watch college football during the fall, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if we want to see football this fall, I guess that's the best way to bubbleize. I guess that's the new term that we use, right? Like bubble the sport, right? I guess that's the best way you can do it in order to get it. Otherwise, they're talking about pushing this to the spring, which again won't really have an effect on the NFL. They'll just push the draft to like April or May. Yeah. But again, if this is the only way we're going to get sports, fine. If there's a better way, obviously push it. I'd rather push it, but I see both sides of it. I think it's a good idea in theory to watch sports watch college football in the fall, but it's a bad idea competitively.
Again, they trying to with dealing with COVID, we're trying to find a happy medium where we get our sports, but also everyone's being safe. Kev, any thoughts?
I mean, to me, like everything that Eddie said is right, but this is one important thing that at the end of the day, they're in college. If these colleges are going to be running and opening, like what are they going to do? Tell these kids don't go to class? They're already going to make them look more like untouchables. They could do whatever they want. These kids still got to go to class, bro. That's still more risk to them. It's like
Right.
it's more risk overall for any collegiate like sports in comparison to the major leagues, basically,
Right.
because they still got to balance their life and go to
Right.
class. And then what? How would they? There's no way for them to potentially bubble themselves without segregating them, basically, from the student body.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like you said,
Well,
the pros,
there's also been talks though too that they're not going to send students that only collegiate college athletes are going to school. It's like, how's that fair?
Yeah,
to the
it's
kid,
not fair.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
I'm behind the semester now. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Well,
this guy, because he can play ball a little bit, he gets to go to school. He gets to get his education. He gets to go play sports. Meanwhile, I'm paying. You know, I mean, we know in America, college isn't cheap. You know, and now you're gonna take Zoom class, and I'll be like, you better give me a discount.
I read that a specific school is closing down, like shutting down like 20 of its varsity teams.
Oh wow!
College is shutting down like.
20 I know the Ivy League is. They completely said they're not doing anything. They're completely shut down. Until we figure out what's going on with this situation, they're not going to put their players or their students at risk, because again, their whole thing, maybe because they're it's going to be the smarter group. Their whole thing is, okay, y'all want to do this conference only, but still, these guys are not just professional athletes; they are students, so they will still be amongst the student body. Now, so you can't do one and not the other. Like they were talking about putting all classes online and stuff like that, and then have the players come for the games and shit like that. But it's like, I don't know. It's just they're trying. I get it. Everybody's
there's a lot of stuff to do, and it's just like, especially with football being like the most loaded roster. So it's like it's a lot.
And again, college football makes so much money. So
much.
Not having college sports, collegiate sports, football, basketball, will hurt a lot of universities, because again, like we discussed on past pods, that these sports pay for a lot of different programs within the school, pay a lot of people's salary. So they're trying to find some type of happy medium, but it's a lot of great ideas, but people are like shooting that shit down, punching holes and everything because again, there's no way for us to say for sure that we're gonna get past COVID, or we can prevent COVID from getting in these different areas. It's not possible. So that's just what it is right now. All right, moving on. We're discussing ESPN QB top 10. Now, we've had this conversation before.
Every time.
Pretty much every episode.
Right. And it all centers around just DQs. Idea that Dak is the greatest Dallas QB to ever play the game.
Of all time.
Of all time. So, and we've made our mock list of where Dak will fall, but according to ESPN, he's at number 9. So, Eddie, I'm going to throw it to you first. Do you agree with the list?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things that could have get moved around. Maybe Lamar Jackson should be a little bit higher. I mean, the highest he was voted was number 2, and the lowest he was voted was number 12. I mean, whoever voted for him number 12, like, did you even watch football last year? But then, like, just a couple guys that are ahead of him: Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, I think we give Aaron Rodgers a lot of credit for what he is and what he's done in the past. There's a lot of what have you done for me lately, but I think he could kind of squeeze right in between, either at number 3, but he's definitely above Brees, and I think he's above Watson. I guess maybe the film. He's only got like 1 year of. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why they're putting him in here. He had an MVP season. The fact that he's number 6 kind of bothers me.
I retort for you. Hey, I think Brees was better last year than Aaron Rodgers. I don't know about.
I'm saying Lamar should be higher. I'm not saying Brees should be higher than A-Rod. I'm saying Lamar should be higher. I'm sorry?
Brees missed a couple of games last year.
That's what I'm saying, too. Yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, like, that part of that should kind of take him out of the top 5. I just don't think he's top 5.
But you would think, because it was only the second, it was only, I think, was it 4 games? 4 games.
4 games he missed, 4 games he missed.
And he got injured second week.
That's a 4th
season. He had enough time to be honest.
I mean, that's a nice chunk of the season. DQ, Are you happy with Dak's place on this list?
It's fine for now. Like he still has shit to prove. But at the end of his career, hopefully, he will go down as probably the Cowboys' best QB of all time.
Backtracking. You say he was the best.
Yeah, he's backstepping.
Right.
Way to call him out, Drew.
I said he could be. I just said he could be.
Backtracking.
All right, now on Twitter, I seen a lot of people talking shit about Carson Wentz being on this list. Kev, with the list being what it is, do you see anybody that should have been here versus the 10 that's there now?
That should have been there. Pat Mahomes, Russ, Aaron Rodgers.
So people that didn't make the list, you got Teddy,
Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold. I'm kidding. Kirk Cousins. I'll be serious. Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan. I guess
based off of just last year, I was
Matt Ryan on the top 10. He was on the list.
I was
on the top 10.
Matt
Ryan was 11.
Well,
I would plug in Kirk Cousins and take Carson out of there. I don't think Carson should be on this list if we're just talking about statistically and numbers and everything just last year. No.
Right.
I'm not gonna hold that. I do know what Carson Wentz did was crazy last year. For all the yards he threw, he didn't have a wide receiver that had over 500 yards. And he threw for over 4,000 yards.
I mean, I think that's good that we know he could go through his reads. Every fucking quarterback should be able to do that, but nah.
But you consider Carson Wentz's injuries, and again, when we evaluate quarterbacks and players in the NFL, and I know we talked about this, and Johnny, you and I don't agree. But it's part of the game, and it's really dude, the guy's been hurt every fucking year.
But his numbers was crazy last year.
But his Super Bowl ring isn't even his.
All right, we're not even talking about Super Bowl ring.
That's what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know.
But he was the one that basically put them in the position to get there. Obviously, he fell out. If Nick Foles started that whole season, would it be the same situation? No.
Okay, so Johnny, with that being said, speaking about a QB that's on the latter part of their career, they got Brady at number 7. Do you agree with that spot?
Of course you do.
Tom Brady with being at 7.
Brady should be at 11.
Brady's definitely gonna be top 10. He had a bad year last year.
Oh yeah, he did.
Statistically, had a bad year last year, but his team still won. So, we just can't just base everything on stats. His team won.
Yeah, but if it was based on the defense, why his team won? This whole thing is about QBs. Tom Brady really didn't drive that team last year. It was the defense that drove it.
Come on. So, what was your predictions before it came to move to the Patriots? How many wins the Patriots gonna win this year?
3-13, Kev said.
No, I said 5. I committed to 5 and 11.
And why was they gonna lose all these games? Who's not on that team no more?
Because the QB. It was because of the QB. The QB that they had started.
Part of the team. We're not
the QB that they had started.
That, John.
Exactly.
And they lost a lot of pieces around them as well.
They have no weapons.
They have no weapons when they're talking about.
Go this way to Florida, and then boom. That's how everybody said, the Patriots gonna suck this shit. Everybody, y'all was all saying, I can't wait.
They still gonna suck
because of Tom Brady, though. I mean, they lost a quarterback because
they lost the quarterback
that they were planning to use was unproven.
Bro, they still gonna suck this year.
So, John, where should Brady be?
Yeah, I say he's fine in top 10. He's fine.
Is he top 5, John?
Let's just say John
from last year. Last year, is he top 5?
Last year.
If you base it off last year, then Dak should be higher than Brady.
I agree with that.
I don't know about that.
All right, so let's do this. Let's put Dakota.
Who went to the playoffs last year?
Listen. Let's put Dakota at 7.
No, answer that question. Who went to the playoffs last year in the NFC East?
Who went?
Eagles.
The NFC was a wash.
It was a wash altogether last year.
All right, so Carson Wentz led his team. Who had the better team, Dak?
All I'm saying is if Dak can be number 9 and Sam Darnold can go to Dallas and beat him in his fucking stadium,
God.
Sam should be number
9. Sam Darnold is probably 20 on this list.
I mean, because
he's up there.
Johnny, if you just use the playoffs, then Josh Allen should be on the list.
Yep.
Oh no.
No, but it's a comment. They obviously it's not strictly.
Yeah, but I said you usually I said I gave the point of Dak statistically had a better season than Tom. So on that grounds, then he should be higher.
So
yes, yes or no.
But this
right. So then if you ask somebody who you got QBs that actually went, Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, Josh Allen, because you brought up the point of who went to the playoffs, then the list will totally be different because these are playoff QBs.
Yeah, but it's a combination of both. Dak had all these stats, but didn't. You know what I'm trying to say? It didn't.
John, I got one more question for you. Did you vote on this? Because the highest that Brady was voted, it was only one time at number 1, and the lowest he was rated was 12. And then Dak, the highest he was voted was 4, and the lowest he was rated was 13. So they were pretty close, with the exception of the fact that Brady was ranked number 1 over Mahomes.
Obviously, Mahomes is the quarterback in the league, but my point is like Dak had good stats last year, but didn't go nowhere. And I'm trying to say really.
I got you.
Yeah.
When you talk about the top 10, obviously, you know, like the up and coming QBs that have a good season.
So what I want to know is where should Matthew Stafford be, bro?
He should be. Honestly, I think he's perfect on that list.
And see, that's the thing. Like, how are they really doing this list? Because again, like, if you do it just like based on skill and performance, then at this point, Dak, based on what we saw last year, Dak was a better QB. Matt Stafford is in a fucking cesspool, but he's a great player, or at least I think he's a great player. But he just always on like a trash ass team. Yeah, so that's why I feel like they put him in there because he's a great player. He
does so well on a bad team.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like they took a little of everything. Stats, performance, wins games, like a little bit, and they made. Maybe
they looked at that because of what Dallas has that they should have been better. So it's like,
and you got to look at that Dallas team is like Dallas has a low.
They're stacked.
O-line, one of the best running backs in the league, has weapons. So they obviously, if you're not winning with that,
so they probably use that against them because again they do have a pretty solid team.
That's also part of it. Drew Brees. He was injured. Still, he had a solid season.
He had a solid season.
Drew better, so his team
Dak had mad yards last year. Yeah. He almost had 5,000 yards. That's crazy.
They have weapons. They have weapons on that team.
No.
I'm
just trying to see where Stafford finished. That's all. But you go ahead.
Stafford probably threw for 3,000, 4,000 yards. But who's on the Lions?
He had Michael Gallup and
he got good receivers.
He got good receivers. Galladay,
All right, receivers. All right.
No,
you sound like your brother now.
Legit.
You sound like your brother.
Brother speaking, he probably say there was dirt anyway.
Yeah.
I said compared to that.
Yeah. Real quick, too, the Madden ratings came out for these quarterbacks that we were talking about. We'll just gloss over it quick. Welcome to the 99 Club, Patrick Mahomes. Second-ranked quarterback is Russell Wilson at 97, Lamar Jackson 94, Drew Brees 93, Tom Brady 90, Aaron Rodgers 89, Matt Ryan 87, who should be on this list, Deshaun Watson 86, Carson Wentz 84, Dak Prescott 84, Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa made this list. Joe Burrow at 76, and Tua at 73. The local guys aren't on there yet, guys. When that gets posted, we'll talk about it.
And I feel like Deshaun Watson should have been rated should be a little bit higher, though.
A little bit higher, yeah.
98, 99.
98.
97, 98.
No, it should be like 91.
That's a big jump. Yeah, 91, 92 sounds better.
Yeah.
What did they rate him again?
Deshaun, 86.
Oh, that's because they know he ain't gonna have D-Hop.
No D-Hop. Yeah. But hey, he's got David Johnson, man. He'll be all right.
Sure. All right.
He's not good though.
Stupid. He might have a good year though, low key.
All right, we moving on. We discussing the Jacksons. I'm talking Michael, Tito, Jermaine, Janet, Latoya. Now we speaking about two other Jacksons.
I don't think Latoya counts.
Jackson.
Latoya don't count.
Victoria count. She's the biggest one. She's the
Yeah.
I got Tito's
Playboy.
signature somewhere in the house.
I filtered myself. I almost said something. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, don't say it. All
I
right,
did
so
it.
but we're not just Jackson 5. We're discussing Jackson 2, Desean Jackson and Stephen Jackson. Now, over the weekend, it's a lot of tension in this world, man. We just need to do circle around the world like us. You know how they did the people of America. They made a circle around the world.
Hands across America.
Hands across America.
I thought we was talking about the Simpsons movie for a second.
Or
Talking about a bubble around
what was that
around
fucking
the world.
movie?
That too.
Us. Jordan Peele's last
Right.
movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Hands Across America.
Yeah. So Eagle star Desean Jackson took to IG and made some anti-Semitic remarks in regards to our Jewish brothers and sisters. And our other brother, Stephen Jackson, doubled down on what he said. Eddie, do you know what Desean Jackson said?
Yeah,
It's not that he said anything. He posted something that he read. There was a little snippet. And he posted it. I'm not going to read exactly what it says. I do have it here. I'm not going to read it. But I mean, Desean, dude, if you see anything that starts off with Hitler said, I don't think you should post it, dude.
That's what I'm about to say.
I mean, what are you thinking? You know? And again, Desean apologized. The Eagles penalized them. Obviously, the guys clearly wasn't thinking these. And again, I'm not apologizing for him, and I'm not giving him an excuse because I feel like the more you give them an excuse, it's kind of like the same thing that we feel what we go through and what we say, what we stand for, and what people say to us. So I'm not going to sit here and be hypocritical and say, well, oh, he's just uneducated about it, or he doesn't see religion. It's the same argument that other people give us that we don't like to hear. So I'm not going to say that. But for Stephen Jackson to double down on it, and again, not reading the room, and for being such a strong advocate for Black Lives Matter, to sit here and now put your tinfoil hat on and believe in conspiracy theories. I mean, come on, dude. Come on.
Did anybody see the Don Lemon interview with Stephen Jackson?
I did not.
No, I did not.
He doubled down on what he.
Yeah, he was basically. Don was trying to give him
an out,
the space, an out to say that you made a mistake, right? This the words wasn't right. This is what you meant.
Yeah, Drew, tell us.
Yeah,
tell us.
go ahead, Drew. You seem to know about it. What happened with?
You had it right. He would Don Lemon was giving him an opportunity, at least see what he say, what he was
where he was wrong at.
Was actually we know what you mean, but you say it in the wrong way, he was about to be there, but what's basically what Desean Jackson wrote was wrong, and what you was propping up basically the wrong thing. We want to give you an out, apologize, but you basically doubled down on it. It's not the good move that you should be doing right now. I know.
Yeah, again, we're in a sensitive time, and again, our Jewish brothers and sisters went through a lot, just like us, Black and brown people. America has been in the world has been fucking us and been fucking them just as much. With Stephen Jackson being a person that's a big face in the Black Lives Matter movement, just being a vocal person, and then having the Up and Smoke pod, which is a dope pod, him having a big platform to right his wrong, he wasn't it was almost like a sense of arrogance. I don't want to call him arrogant, but it was kind of arrogant because he was y'all know, it's almost y'all know what I meant type of thing. Y'all know what I meant to, y'all know what I meant to say type shit, when it's bro, we a lot of us, we get where you was trying to go, but we try to give you the platform to fix it. And it's well, y'all know what I was trying to say. It's nigga, so say it. We give you the floor to say it, and you don't want to change it. I don't know if he looked at that as tucking his tail or something. I don't know. DQ.
He might not want to back down from it, that's all. Ego.
As we all know how Stephen Jackson is, he is a man that tends to stand his ground on certain, like, almost everything. So, like, even though he did possibly say the wrong thing in everyone's eyes, he probably doesn't really see he said the wrong thing. He just kind of gets save face about it, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It's corny. John, any
thoughts? I feel like they both gravitated to the message about, the message of talking about the black people instead of like the, who said it and then the anti-Semitic stuff that was also said. They gravitated to more of that, and then they felt like, I guess they felt that message and they wanted to relay it.
Right.
Known, but it was just a message that was not the best message to be put out, and it was put out. So, and then one co-signed the other, and then it's just, it was just bad.
It was the right message, but from the wrong messenger. Like once Adolf Hitler said it,
and again, it hasn't even been proved. It hasn't even been proved that this was his.
It's been attributed.
Oh yeah. It was a fake one.
Who said it though? It was somebody else.
Yeah.
They just say it. It just took off on social media that he
right.
said. He didn't even say it. He didn't say it. Now I'm not saying it's like there's certain messages I feel like they gravitated to within what was posted.
Right.
Like, but I guess they seen that and they related to it quick and they just like, they went with it. Like Desean seen it, posted it, and Stephen Jackson probably seen it. Was like, he ain't saying nothing wrong. What lies did he tell with that post? And like stood his ground on it,
Yeah. And I mean, at this point, I guess they now seeing their faults. Kev, I was
gonna say, Stephen. Desean met with some survivor,
Holocaust survivor.
And I seen today that he's gonna visit Auschwitz. He's gonna visit, so he's gonna take this mistake.
Desean, he's gonna learn. Good for him.
Yeah.
So he's gonna take the mistake and try to learn from it, but
Kev, do you think Stephen Jackson should be following the same suit as Desean?
I mean, from a standpoint of knowledge is power, educate yourself a little bit more. But I just think overall, Desean Jackson, just going back to something slightly, not even slightly, it's just completely like off. Like we know already about his characters that he does shit premature, bro. Like crossing the end zone without bringing the ball with him after a long play or something like that. He's like a spur of the moment. Like once he's in the that zone. He's just not he's not overthinking it. He's not giving it a second thought. So he's jumping the gun, you know what I mean? And that's what he did.
And it was clearly one of those times where a lot of times we'll see something on social media, we'll just share it without fact checking. No fact check.
Yeah. Right.
It just in a moment it sounded good and boom. But the only thing is when you're a professional athlete, your platform is much bigger. Right now, I can go delete that shit. Boom, it's over. Nobody cares.
Everybody screenshots.
Right. He do it, everybody screenshot that shit. It ain't gone. So they definitely have to be more careful, especially in these times. Again, Black lives has been a target of a lot of brutality and discrimination. So, but we don't want to downplay nobody else's struggle, especially people like the Jewish community who has been through a lot as well.
They know anything, it's them, right? If anybody knows suffering, it's them.
If anybody knows, it's them. Like, so those are our brothers in this race war or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Like, but let's get it together, fellas. Do better. All right. Moving on. So we still talking COVID. We're going to always talk fucking COVID until COVID.
2022 at least.
Yeah, until this shit leaves, man, because COVID is undefeated. We trying to get champions. We want a World Series champion. We want a Super Bowl champion. We want an NBA champion. But COVID is undefeated and holds all the titles right now because that motherfucker is taking people out and he or she ain't playing. All right, so the latest in COVID.
Don't assume it's gender. We'll get in trouble.
Right. Excuse me. COVID.
They.
Right. They. COVID. Just COVID. Is taking people out, and in the latest in COVID sports, the homie Brody, has now said that he suffers from COVID-19. He didn't travel to Orlando with his team. he's back home or somewhere in quarantining and getting treated. I'm sure he got some good doctors around.
No. I think he did travel to Orlando. He's in quarantine in his room. That's what they say. He's like
they
he's
said
there.
they said him and James Harden didn't travel.
They never traveled.
Yeah, him and James Harden.
I thought they said he was there.
They was on schedule to meet with the team later.
Is there John? Is there a rumor that like maybe James has it too, or
I'm not gonna lie, I seen
they hang out together.
They're saying that James Harden might have it on Twitter. It wasn't announced, but Twitter saying that he has it.
That's probably why they didn't travel. Like,
yeah, sounds sketchy.
I was just looking at it because somebody wrote like in a group chat and said that James Harden got it, but then when I looked it up, they're saying that Twitter is saying that he has it.
This shit is crazy. Not only does the Brody got it, but the fucking whole Nashville SC in the MLS, they whole fucking team.
Well, according to
also out.
Yeah.
I don't know how true this website is, but according to this website, it says Russell Westbrook and James Harden test positive for COVID-19.
What website is that?
It says Sports Bible. You have Google James Harden.
Well, I don't know if they're credible.
I don't know. It's not a credit.
Fake news. Fake news.
We'll see. We'll see more on that. But again, in the MLS, the Nashville SC, their entire team was banned from their play because so many cases.
They're going to go ahead and join FC Dallas, so that's two teams already out in the MLS.
And then you got the DC United and Toronto FC. They just postponed their game because of new cases coming up with their teams. They were supposed to be playing tonight, and they canceled their game because of cases on both teams and shit. And then on top of that, Russell Wilson,
the sweetest man in the world,
the nicest man in the world.
He don't care about no entangled relationships. He takes care of other people's kids. He got it now, man.
Again, that shows you COVID, like Kevin, ain't got no picks. It's whatever.
Show you right.
COVID is with whatever. Man, Jonny. Basketball is here pretty much. Basketball is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Wishful thinking. Do you think we're gonna get through this season?
I think at this point it's like there's no turning back. They're pushing down.
They're too motivated, bro.
Nothing. They're going. They're going. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of unconfirmed things, but I seen on Twitter they're saying James Harden got it, but
Jonny said.
I'm looking to.
He said they foot is on the gas pedal, bro. The season is Cameron Diaz and
and again,
sky, bro.
So it says that James Harden and this is from I won't say it because they don't sponsor us or pay us yet. Hopefully they buy our podcast, but Racial Report confirms that James Harden and Russell Wilson are expected to join the Rockets in Orlando by midweek. This was earlier today.
Or they about to be testing them every day for the next 5 days, bro.
Or after?
Well, it's not saying it's a positive test yet. This is after Russell's positive test.
Yeah,
because knowing that they work out together.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna join them in Orlando, but that's all dependent on how the tests come out. If they come back with being positive for COVID, they probably won't let them in.
60-40, but Harden might have it. Also.
And that's the thing. We want sports, but we want the best out there. We don't want a fucking Houston Rockets team without the Brody and without the beard. Like, I don't want to see PJ Tucker bum ass running the ball. Don't give me
PJ Tucker's not a bum, bro.
No, I'm not saying.
PJ Tucker's the Drew of the Rockets.
He's not. PJ Tucker. Look, PJ, you got a.
He's not as good as.
But
he's not good. Again,
let's keep it a buck. Nobody's going to a Rockets game to see PJ Tucker. Like
sneakerheads, I guess. You want to see PJ report.
Okay, but ain't nobody going to see PJ. So with cases like this, you got superstar level players getting COVID. God forbid, you got all these players coming together. They already in the bubble, golfing and swimming. I mean, fishing together.
Yeah.
So, this is what we up against, and there's no sure way to keep COVID out of the bubble. So at some point, when it gets to playing ball, if somebody gets it on the court, they're going to have to postpone the game or push back the season a little bit more, something to that extent, and how long can they do that?
Which would I believe
my
like
question.
this is like the perfect kind of like time because it's not games are not going to barely start until the
I'll put it
30th.
this way.
So
The NFL
so
is
like
the
if you
best.
get now, like it's gonna sit down for a bit, quarantine, and then once you get back right, you back right. Like it's good that they have this like built-in time where like it's not starting right away. It's going we have until the 30th before actual games take place. So.
Right.
Like 2.5 weeks away, but like I was saying, NFL is like in the best position out of all these sports because they run down the line.
They sit back and watch. They watching what's going on.
A lot of stuff it might die down or pick up.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna waver till it gets to them. But these sports are about to start up. Baseball is the 23rd.
Right.
Basketball is the 30th.
10 days.
Yeah.
That's right around the corner. That's literally around the corner.
I mean, the TBT is going been going on, the basketball tournament.
Yeah, I seen that.
So the $1 million tournament, they've been fine. They got them all quarantined to one hotel. They can't leave and stuff like that. They tested them coming into the hotel, and they've been playing their games and doing their tournaments and stuff. No problem. So
just hopefully it goes like that.
Yeah. So hopefully we get that with the NBA. But man, COVID, she ain't playing. I mean, COVID ain't playing. I want to give it a sex. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. COVID don't have a sex. All right. So moving on. We ain't gonna spend too much time on this, but we'll discuss the UFC 251. We got the only African champion, Usman, and he defended his belt versus against Masvidal, American Masvidal. What happened?
Who got that?
NFL and the NFLPA, they're still fighting over the protocols.
Damn it. I was hoping that was the James Harden. I was like, we're breaking news on this podcast.
So, Usman versus Masvidal took place this weekend. Usman won, split the decision, 5th round. I heard the little part I saw, there was a lot of foot stomping and shit. Wasn't much fighting, a lot of wrestling.
Yeah. That's what happens when you, like, you put a brawler with a wrestler. You got
a lot of wrestling.
You know what I mean?
A lot of wrestling.
Yeah, like you got to put a submissionist with a submissionist. You got to put a grappler with a grappler. You got to put a boxer with a boxer. Like,
yeah, because Usman didn't really.
Usman didn't. UFC, they all. If you're in the weight class, you liable to fight.
Yeah, you liable.
Yeah,
you liable to fight whoever.
And Masvidal, he picked up this fight like within like 8 days, 6 to 8 day notice.
He wasn't supposed to be in it, you know.
Right.
Another fighter that couldn't, you know, I think backed out.
Right.
And he jumped in.
Pussy.
Yeah, so he jumped in, and again, he jumped in with again 6 to 8 day notice. He didn't get his ass whooped, but every time he would try and brawl, Usman would take that shit to the ground and just like pound him from the bottom, and that's how pretty much the one. It was
a ground and pound to him.
Yeah.
So and also just another point, it was taking place in Fight Island.
Right, Fight Island.
I know there's a lot of people that thought that this was like Tekken 4 and it was like Eddie Guerrero versus martial law, like on the beach.
Right.
But no, it's on a private island inside of a stadium.
Yeah.
Like, chill out. Like, I what do they expect? Like flamethrowers and shit? Like just chilling in the background.
Yeah,
like
on some Mortal Kombat 1 and shit.
Yes, it would have been better than what we saw from everything that I've been hearing from it. I didn't watch the fight again. Not big into UFC. Not a big UFC fan. But apparently. I won't. ESPN app, ESPN Plus doesn't work when you buy it on your phone, and you can't stream it on your TV, and it's really, really hard, and it keeps going up and down. So they got some server issues, so you got to figure that out. But I heard the preliminaries were better than the main fight.
Yeah, I mean Dana White ain't letting nothing stop him from getting his bag. So
he does not.
We got to get this. We got this bag. We put them on a private island. That's so big and shit. So good shit, Usman. You're the only African. Champion ever.
And so Frank Ngannou finally gets one.
So,
he's not champ?
Yes. Is Deb saying he's the first?
No, he is the first. I looked it up.
He's Nigerian, right?
I don't know.
Usman sounds Nigerian. Deb, we only know that for one reason, right?
What happened?
Why we know that Usman is Nigerian? How we know that?
I looked it up.
90 Day Fiance. Usman. Come on, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
Come on, bro. Help me out here.
Yeah,
you heard that? My
Baby girl Lisa.
Was he born over there or was he born here? Or like
no, he's born in Africa. He's born. So African. Yeah, African born.
What Africa?
African born champion.
Yeah, so yeah, UFC probably got African champions, but not one that was.
Yeah, right. And he's the only and first African born champion. So, good shit. Let's keep doing your thing. All right, and that is, in case you missed it. Did I miss anything? Nah,
they come out with UFC 4 too.
Well, we'll see when it finally happens, but we are aware that Steve Cohen is trying to buy the Mets actively off of the $4 billion. We'll figure that out when it actually comes.
Yeah, they said a whole bunch of celebrities trying to jump in on it. Brian Blacker,
Jennifer Lopez,
the guy with the most money is Uncle Steve. And DQ, you'll be happy. Yankee fans, I'd be really scared. They're going to have enough money he going to spend money. He going to get your Mookie Betts in here. He's going to get your big name players. It's going to be between us, the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets if Steve Cohen does buy this team to be a group, an organization that spends money on players.
The first thing I think they should do if he does buy the team is change the stadium name from Citi Field to something different, because I just heard that Citibank technically some foul shit with Haiti like some years ago where it was like taking money from the country and stuff.
I believe it.
I mean,
I've been calling Citi Field Shitty Field forever.
Always. But you know what's crazy? It's the best stadium in the whole fucking tri-state area.
Yeah,
I don't care what nobody says.
Nice.
I like the fact that
ain't nothing shitty about that stadium.
You can walk around the stadium if you want to watch the game, and Eddie's steak nachos in the 400 section.
Foods are good. Food's good. Beer's good. They got a brewery downstairs.
Yeah. Last thing you want to do is shit yourself in the nosebleeds. Damn, you said steak nachos in the 400.
But it's not a bad seat in that stadium, dude. You can get standing area and you're good.
The 400s and 500s are together, but like, if you walk downstairs, everything, all the food is like right in it's between 300 and 400, but like it's in the back area where you can't see like the stands at. So when you walk out from your seat, you walk down the stairs and move backwards. All the food is like on one floor, pretty much.
Pretty dope. All right, moving on. We're going into Bag of the Trash. DQ. Coming to you first. Now the NFL just announced, recently announced, coming into the new season, they will be banning jersey swapping. As you know, like after games, the top players usually show respect to each other and give each other their jerseys, take a picture, Kodak moment. But the NFL is banning it to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Bag of the Trash, DQ, is this a good idea?
I said it's fucking trash, because how you gonna have dudes literally tackling each other, rubbing each other, like holding each other for over an hour, and exchange jerseys afterwards? Like,
yeah, true. Eddie, Bag of the Trash.
Trash it. To the same point. I mean, that's literally what I was going to say. You took the words right out of my mouth. Again, these guys are going to be spitting on each other, all over each other, grabbing each other. They still have to go to the coin toss. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they still have to get in the huddle. Like, what is the difference of just standing next to each other? It's like, exactly. And it's like, oh, like, well, I don't want your sweat touching my sweat. It's like, well, it already did, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's stupid.
We all got HPV.
Okay. Johnny, Bag of the Trash.
Definitely trashing it, but I see what the NFL is trying to do. They're trying, even though they know there's a lot of contact, they're trying to, after all the contact, sort of minimize but
you're going to minimize it after all of the contact.
Yeah,
like,
so like if somebody like has it or
if they want to minimize it, then they need to just put them in them big ass spears, bubbles things. And
or flag football. It was just like grab my flag.
And that's still flag football, still contact, man.
Yeah, it is true, but
still,
like I don't know, like this is just let it be. But they're just trying. They know there's gonna be a lot of contact. They just want to minimize it. Like they just want, it's over, just go.
Right.
Go your way. You go your way. They probably don't even want the coaches to greet in midfield and shake each other's hand.
Yeah, all that's gonna be done.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan's not gonna like that.
Bag
if you just walk off the field.
I'm definitely trashing it, man. Because again, everybody's point is the same thing. I even saw something today. They coming out with a new design for like inner face shields inside their helmets.
It's not gonna work.
I mean, they going a little overboard, but it's the most contact sport aside from like UFC or something like that. You know what I mean? But
Right.
it's stupid. NFL's always on something new. The one thing they never gonna say after like fans put up with it like a few years ago, they not gonna trash end zone celebrations and stuff like that. So
All right.
it's a
True.
joke.
Back in the trash.
You know what? I understand what Eddie, DQ, and Kev saying, like the hypocrisy, like after we did all this, the gameplay, like we already touched each other enough, so like you can understand why they trash it. But I'm gonna bag it because it's not that bad of a rule to not follow. Like, just don't jersey swap. Like, what's the problem?
I'm touching you.
I mean, like, it's like a simple minimizing that people just, all right, so we can't jersey swap no more. What's the big deal? Like,
yeah, just send it to him in the mail. Just send it in the mail and then just put it on your Instagram story that you did it. Like, socially distanced jersey swap.
It takes away from the moments, like, yo, it's supposed to be like a respect thing, like,
Yeah.
But so I can't jersey swap. Like, what the big whoop? Like,
what
the big whoop?
That's the episode title right there. What the big whoop?
What the big whoop? Now, with everything going on in regards to Washington Redskins and the social climate that we're in,
right.
We're discussing the Atlanta Braves. There's a lot of people that's protesting the Braves name and their logo and all this other shit. So with that being said, Eddie, bag of the trash. Braves changing their name is a good idea. Bag of the trash.
Oh, that it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Trash it.
Why?
This is going to be an ongoing thing. I don't think this is going to go away. We talked about this maybe last episode. It's not just team names; it's mascots. I know I've mistaken the Florida State team. They don't have a derogatory name in their team name, but their mascot is Indian. You have the Chicago Blackhawks. Do you count the Chiefs? Do you count their? I didn't even realize there was a team. I'm pretty sure they play in Canada, but they're called. I don't know if they're like a professional team, but they're called the Edmonton Eskimos, which I think that's going to change too. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of professional teams that have to change their name. So again, I feel like the Redskins were the first, and Cleveland Indians as well, obviously. I feel like the Redskins was the first domino, and it's just going to cause an effect. And most of these teams are eventually going to either have to change their name, change their logo, change their mascots, whatever it is, because other people feel for other people. I don't know. I honestly, I can't figure out what's going on anymore.
DQ, bag of the trash and Braves changing their name.
I'm gonna trash it just with the fact that instead of like they can take away that connotation of like the derogatoriness of the name, and just by taking away the.
What's the derogatory?
It's not derogatory for
the tomahawk. Is probably
they do their chop too. So when they're like, whoa.
But what's derogatory about it though? Like I don't.
I guess because Indians use tomahawks, and
isn't that? So I'm saying, like, how is that offensive when?
Isn't that paying homage?
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
This is what we talked about before, though. It's like this is their representation as Native Americans, like that they're actually being honored in the country that literally killed all of them and took their country from them and claimed it as their own. Like this is where they see representation, right? Like, as blacks, Latinos, Asians, whatever. 9 times out of 10, you see a representation of yourself, and you kind of go, okay. I look back at like the Simpsons thing when Hank Azaria, who used to voice Apu, he doesn't do that anymore, and I'm pretty sure they killed off the character. I haven't watched the Simpsons in a really long time, but there's a lot of Indian Americans that I know that straight up were like, when we were kids and stuff, like that was our representation. At least you know who we are. Yeah, at least you know who we are. But then also at the same time, like you get that stigma where it's just like, oh, you work at a 7-Eleven, like, where's my Slurpee? Like, well, again, like, that's when it gets disgusting and nasty. Yeah. But again, for some of them, like, they see that representation and they think, oh, well, at least I'm getting noticed. Yeah, I'm being depicted in a certain way, but I know guys like that. Like, when I see a Latino that's on TV, and is being depicted as a stereotypical Latino. I'm like, yeah, like I know a couple guys like that, like, but I don't think that it's fair that that guy should always have to play that role. You know, maybe give him the leading man role. I look at Miguel Pena. Miguel Pena. Right, exactly. Miguel Pena has not been typecast, and he's done exactly. He can play that stereotypical person, make it funny, make it enjoyable, but then it also be a leading man, like in the end of Watch and stuff like that. So, and you know, Ant-Man and all that. Now he's in Marvel movies. So again, it's just like that's that like fine line where again, that's why I'm trashing it because it's gonna happen because it's happening everywhere. It's other people of different cultures telling one specific culture how to feel. I'm not going to call it cancel culture. I'm not going to call it like everyone's going after everybody. I'm just saying like sometimes that's our only representation and sometimes we appreciate the representation.
All right. Now, DQ, what did you say, bag of trash? Because Eddie.
I'm going to trash the idea of changing the name simply for the fact that they can actually flip the name to Braves by adding an American flag. But at the same time, if you flip it, another controversy can evolve from that based on the national anthem because, you know, that part and won't land free home the Braves and the whole behind the national anthem arriving also. But there's ways they can change that. Brave is a powerful word, but at the same time, like they can change it in other ways to make it okay to use.
Yeah. Kev, back in the trash it.
I'm definitely trashing it, and like just to elaborate, it's just there's more potential of like these ethnic like backgrounds and ethnic groups really losing not only their representation but just flat out some of like their heritage, their pride. You know what I mean? Just the Braves logo in itself, like I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like I get the Redskins, the imitation of the complexion of the skin and where that idea came from.
The Indians are worse.
You know,
yeah, but I mean, yeah.
All right, Drew, back in the trash.
I can honestly say trash it because Braves, it's honestly not a bad thing. Like the Redskins, okay, the Redskins. You know why the Redskins is so derogatory? It has nothing to do with skin color. Is basically the Redskins derived of they were skinning and scalping Native Americans. That's where Redskins became that slur. That's where it originated from. Okay. Yeah, that's why everybody is so mad about the name Redskin. It has nothing to do with complexion, scalping and skinning. That's where the term came from. And Braves, and Braves is nice. It's Braves. I'm like is honestly the representation is not that bad on Braves. It doesn't. Redskins, definitely racist. Braves, that's something totally different. That's like kind of honoring like representation. Like I can trash that because that's like a good representation of what they will want their culture to be. Like Braves, I have no problem with that.
I mean, at the end of the day,
Drew, you're agreeing you want to trash the Braves or you want to bag the Braves? Because your points are different.
No, I'm not. Don't change the name. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so then you're bagging that they shouldn't change their name. Wasn't that the question?
Oh no.
The question is it a good idea them changing their name?
Right.
Oh, is it good?
So he trashed.
Yeah.
So he trashed.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, any of these teams that are going to potentially change their names, somebody's going to mess up and not hold on to the heritage of it, and they're going to run the risk of whitewashing like a lot of names of teams that people still like turn on the tube for regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you can be a Native American that lives in like Colorado, but you're a fan of the Indians because like that's your representation.
Like Chiefs, Braves. The only thing about the Indians is, and the Indians, Cleveland Indians, is the logo. That's where they really want in the Cleveland Indians hate is just
it's just a C now.
Let us see now.
It's a C now, yeah.
Right.
They took away the Lloyd logo.
Nah, back in the trash.
Trashing it. Like the Braves' name is like a regular name. Braves, Atlanta Braves. Obviously it has the tie to the natives, but it's not derogatory
it's not derogatory.
It's not negative at any level. Redskins obviously has its own history with it. You know, the Indians with that logo is bad, but those teams shouldn't change their name at all.
Yeah. Again,
I think at the point where people just trying to reach for everything, overreacting certain things. Certain things need to be changed, and certain things is just fine how it is.
Right. Again, I don't see nothing wrong with Braves. If I was a Native American, to call my people Brave will be endearing and honoring, at least.
Yeah,
but
even the Atlanta Braves said they're not really changed it because like they basically echo what we just said. Like it's a reputation. It's nothing bad with the name. That the Braves saying like they don't have no problem with having the name Braves. Like they ain't changing that.
All right, moving on. With everything in sports, COVID, we got basketball coming. We're discussing the Brooklyn Nets now. Brooklyn Nets gonna look like a different team in the bubble. We got no Kyrie, we got no KD, we got no DeAndre Jordan. But
you got no Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, no Spencer.
No
Winston Chandler is also opting out, and so is Torian Prince. Thank you.
So, but we do got the homie Jay Crossover back.
Take it back.
Don't forget about Michael Beasley.
Also, another solid player, Michael Beasley, is also joining the Nets. Now, Washington Wizards ain't gonna be on shit. Bradley Beal not playing, John Wall not playing. So more than likely, I'm assuming that Brooklyn Nets.
Battle of the Scrubs
right.
for the AC.
Battle of the Scrubs for the AC. So assuming that Brooklyn Nets make it to the playoffs, bag of the trash is Jonny. Will the Nets make it out the first round?
Trash it.
Can we all say trash it?
Not even with Jay Crossover?
No.
Trash it, bro. Trash that shit. Bucks is gonna wipe the floor with them niggas.
Brooklyn's number 7 for AC right now. They're 7, right?
Yeah, they're 7 right now.
So who they play Boston in the first round?
Yeah, they'll play Boston.
Boston's like the second best team in the East. It's Milwaukee, Boston,
Toronto.
Can they even win their like warm-up games? I mean, so they have Orlando and then Washington and then Milwaukee and then Boston and then Sacramento and then the Clippers and then Orlando.
They can win the Orlando game.
Maybe, but then Washington, Milwaukee, Boston, Sacramento, Los Angeles Clippers, and Portland, and then they have Orlando again. So what do they win? 2 games?
Yeah, just like I said, for the AC, it's gonna be battle of the scrubs.
That means they could drop to AC.
Right.
Bucks in the first round.
All right, so go on. So Jonny said it 3-2-1, bag of the trash it. Nets make it out the first round. 3-2-1.
Trash it.
Trash it. All right, bet. Moving on. Jay Crossover, 20 for the second time. He ain't 40.
Sorry, buddy.
He's not gonna carry the squad.
All right, so next up, we got we're still in the NBA. Now, it was recently announced that Rajon Rondo is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks with, what do you got, broke something?
Fractured thumb.
Fractured thumb. So, now everybody else on the Lakers is healthy. They do have J.R. Smith now. They have Dion Waiters now. But you also have a healthy and deep Clippers team, who is their biggest opposition coming out of the West. And they do give Lakers some trouble. So being that the Lakers are down a point guard and you have a healthy and full Clippers team, DQ, bag of the trash it, Clippers taking it all.
Trashing it? No, they're not taking it all. Like, I don't care what anyone says.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is that?
You got LeBron coming out the hyperbolic time chamber after that many months of training. Like,
I was wondering when that reference was going to be made.
I've been in a Goku time chamber.
The Lakers is taking it all. I'm going to fuck no one say.
Right.
No, it's not going to be the Clippers.
I mean, if the Lakers don't take it, who else?
Yeah, the Lakers don't win.
It's gonna be the Lakers and the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. Let's just agree with that.
Depending on how it's set up. But Eddie, bag of the trash, the Clippers taking it.
I'm bagging it because I've been saying the Clippers have a good shot. I mean, they do have Kawhi again. I don't really watch that much basketball, because the Knicks suck and I just don't like a lot of heartbreak. But mostly bagging it because I'd love to see John. Like what we love about sports and when sports comes back is like shitting on your friends when their team loses. And I would love to just text Johnny and be like, "Hey, John, hey, Johnny," because obviously it's known it's going to be Clippers and Lakers in the final.
Right.
Oh,
I mean, Kawhi is the king of load management, and this time off is the ultimate load management. So with that being said, Johnny, Clippers taking it all, bag of the trash.
I'm gonna trash it. Yeah, trash it. But just know if the Lakers don't take it, the Clippers is most likely gonna be the team to win it all if the Lakers don't win.
Right.
Clippers and the Bucks. Who is
Bucks? Oh wow! Stop bringing them niggas up, yo.
Damn. Okay. You don't like Giannis. All right, cool.
Hey,
Drew was the best player.
Drew, bag of the trash. The Clippers taking it all.
All right, cool. There's a possibility. I'm gonna trash it because I don't want them to. I don't want them to win the championship. The Lakers are my pick, but not to say they don't have a chance to do it. They definitely have a shot to take it all. But I'm gonna trash it because that's not what I want. I don't want to take it, but I don't want to take it. So
who do you want to take it, Drew?
Yeah, I want the Lakers to win. Lakers to win for Kobe. So for the Kobe. It's gonna be a heartwarming story, bro. It's gonna be a heartwarming story if the Lakers win in the honor of Kobe Bryant passing.
I swear. I thought he was gonna say Miami, but
I thought he was gonna say Miami too. But
Miami has a shot to go to the finals. That's cool.
Them niggas just washed you. Shut up.
Why do y'all hate the Miami so much? They have a shot to go up to the finals. Like, come on, y'all need to stop it.
That shit's so stern.
Okay, bag of the trash. The Clippers winning it all.
In a nutshell, the co-sign with Johnny and Drew, like, I'm going to trash it. And if the Lakers don't win it all, the Clippers will be the runner-up to win it all. But, again, to agree with Drew, they need to win it for this man right here, bro.
That's a good point, Job.
They need to take it home for that man.
I wouldn't even mind it being rigged for them to win. I just want them to win. Like,
we'll get into riggings later on in this podcast.
Word. Yeah, okay, we'll see. But we'll see. All right, moving on. Back of the trash. Now, we're speaking about the homie, my guy, my son, Zion Williamson. Now, LeBron won't be in the league too much longer. Kawhi do his load management. He look like he ain't gonna play too much time longer. Russell and
Bron about to play another 10 years, even if they have to stand at half court.
Well,
he waiting for Bronny. Yeah, and he's gonna coach probably.
Right, and he might play, but he won't be LeBron James.
LeBron James will probably win more rings as a coach.
Yeah. We discussing the next class because you got Giannis, you got Luka, but it is said that Zion will be the future face of the NBA. So, John, I'm going to throw it to you first. Within this next decade, will Zion become the best player in the NBA? Bag of the trash.
I'm going to bag it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bag it. There's a lot of nice young talent, but I believe in Zion. Zion I trust. So I'm bag it.
I'm with you, John. AD say he hype. He too hype.
You know what? I believe there's so many young players in this league that is gonna be.
So what's he going to do?
So bag of the trash it first, though.
Bag of the trash.
Yeah, I'm trashing it. Because there's a player of like Luka. There's a player named Jason Tatum. There's a player named Bradley Beal. There's a player named
You forgot about our guy Johnny Cinco's doppelganger.
Oh yeah, Ice Trey.
Bradley Beal been in the league 10 years already, dude. He's not
there's a lot of players that's like up there. How you know Zion is going to be that one so quickly? Maybe he is. Maybe I'm wrong. But there's players he got to go through first. Like Jason Tatum, number one.
Full young talent, definitely.
Yeah, it's a lot of good young talent, but none of them has shown the freakish ability.
It's just Zion's show about
Zion's a highlight now, bro.
Box office. There we go. I said show office. Box office.
But he's already a superstar type player. But Kev, bag of the trash, Zion being the face of the NBA this upcoming decade?
I'm gonna say Baggett, but the obvious statement that nobody's said is time will tell, bro.
Right.
Time will tell.
Yes, I believe that. I
All right,
believe that too.
DQ, bag of the trash.
I'm going to bag it because simply him, Luka, Ice Trap, they're gonna drive the league, and those guys are extremely marketable. Like that's another thing people are forgetting. The marketability of those guys. These are nice young dudes who happen to be really fucking good at basketball.
Right.
Like I can see them being like the next Magic Bird and Isaiah, pretty much the way they play. And they're changing the game as they come to the league.
And again, that's a big thing that play is that star quality that Zion already has. That although Jason Tatum is a great player,
he's fundamentally he's great.
He don't have that star quality, but he's gonna be great. That's my guy.
Let me get a refresh on the question.
Cold-blooded.
Let me get
word.
No, he's nice.
Hey, yo, John, you know where he come from?
Of course, dude. I know.
Dude.
Man, I like Desean Jackson.
Mr. Moderator, let me get a refresh on the question. Is the question is he's gonna be the best young star or is he gonna be one of the best? Because if the question is one of the best, I can agree with that. But if he's going to be the best,
he's already one of the best with the limited time.
The question is he
going to be
the best?
The best, the superstar, the face, the man of the NBA. Okay.
He got a lot of time to go through.
Eddie, bag of the trash.
Bagging it. I don't want the meat separate. I don't care. Double bag it, triple bag it, whatever it takes. I'm taking all this shit. I'm taking it home. Yeah, as Kev said, time will tell. Obviously, duh. But to your point too, is he's got that.
I don't want the meat separate.
Yeah. They ask you that in grocery stores now. I would know a little bit about that. But he's got that star power. He's got that star quality. We talk about the bubble in today, saying if Bron plays, we play. I feel like Zion can fall right into that role once Bron retires. I feel like it's going to be the passing of the torch, especially with this bubble playoff that we're going to see, because it's obviously being set up, right? That it's Lakers and Pelicans round one. Exactly. The question is the Hornets, the Pelicans, whatever, as an organization, they've had a little kerfuckle. Whatever you want to call it. Okay. They're not a good organization, clearly. Like, they don't keep their stars very long. I think they have a pretty good setup right now with Ball and Zion being the top two guys. They can build guys around them. Guys want
Ingram. Don't forget.
Guys are going to want to play with them. So, can Zion demand what LeBron demanded? Can he demand what Jordan demanded? Yeah. Is he going to be a generational player? Sure. But there's injuries. There's all those other things that can happen. And does he have the mentality? Does he have that Mamba mentality, John? Does he have ice in his veins? Can he do all that? We've seen it so far in the court of what we've seen from him so far. Will he be able to do it? I'm sorry, John?
I said in the small sample size in the NBA, the time we got from Zion, Zion seems like he wants to be.
Yeah, he wants to be LeBron, and good for him.
And they definitely trying to set it up with giving the Pelicans the easiest 8-game schedule, possibly putting them in the eighth place to face LeBron, right? AFC to face LeBron, and almost that passing the torch, like, bro, you next, but you got to go through me type of setup.
I still think Portland got to have something to deal with it, though. Portland has something to say with it.
Portland ain't going to go easy, but the NBA is –
The NBA is trying to set that up. I get what you're saying.
It's the money. They trying to set up the storyline. So, but again, that's back in the trash, fellas. We moving on. Star bench cut. First thing we got is WWE women superstars. A lot from the heyday of wrestling.
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days.
Us pushing 30, the good old days. None of y'all young bloods know nothing about this.
Good old days when I used to watch wrestling.
Watch what?
Wrestling.
Oh, right.
Okay, so we got Trish Stratus. Y'all remember Trish, right?
This whole segment, light work.
We got
doesn't.
Lita, and we got China. Who you starting? Who you benching? Who you cutting? Eddie, to you first. Start bench cut.
This is easy. Team Extreme all the way, obviously, but the iconic thong over the baggy pants. But Lita, production-wise, women's championship-wise, you weren't really there. You didn't really have that star power. You just pretty much were riding on Matt and Jeff's coattails. Although I do love you, and the moonsault probably one of the best like extra finishers in the corner that I've always seen. So Lita is on my bench.
I don't know about that.
China, rest in peace. Gotta cut you. I loved what you did with DX. Loved what you did in WCW, ECW, all that stuff. Your career wasn't as long as the fucking GOAT, Trish Stratus, man. I mean, come on. This one had like what, a 15-year career? Toronto, Canada, a gajillion fucking women's championships. Had the best theme songs, had the best finisher moves. Like,
she
revolutionized the women's position.
Yeah, she was running.
Always. Honestly, she should have been on our Fab Five honorable mention or on somebody's list for trendsetters. She revolutionized women's wrestling.
Did she?
She's a part of it.
Yeah, she's a big part of it.
Well,
about
three of them play roles. All three of them.
Correct. Correct. But Trish is the GOAT. The GOAT.
Right.
Period. Hands down.
All right. DQ. Star bench cut.
Section 2.
I am starting China because China literally was about to be world heavyweight champion. Like, niggas don't know that.
That's a good point.
Only female
Intercontinental championships, bro. Like,
only female intercontinental championship.
You're right.
Literally,
I forgot about all of that.
She stood out in a group of like pretty women. She was like sort of attractive. And she was dominant. Like she was literally so dominant she had to fuck with the boys pretty much.
Right.
You're right.
Trish had an amazing move set. Like she's probably one of those iconic WWE divas. And I'm cutting Lita because she did to my nigga Matt. I'm sorry.
Damn, still on that.
He can't get over it.
Can't get over that shit. I'm sorry.
I think you taking it worse than Matt did.
Yeah. He got like the darts in his room with Lita's picture and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Kev, start bench cut.
This is pretty simple. Trish Stratus, he's a trendsetter. I remember getting in trouble because I tell grandma I'm watching like wrestling and she come in and the girls is about to fight.
Puppies!
She's like, what is this? I'm like, yo, this is wrestling. But then behind every pretty girl, he's
grandma,
before, like every like bad girl that could fight that I've ever known always had a girl like behind her that was bigger, almost looked like a dude that got one hit of quitters. So coming off my bench, China gotta be coming off the bench, bro. She's so aki, bro. She built like Dev and shit. Like, yo.
She bigger than me. She bigger than me. I want no problems. I gotta cut Lita, bro. Sorry. All right, Drew, star bench cut.
Yo, I got it, bro. Countless intercontinental championships, bro. Like, I just the GOAT of it. Like in this conversation, I gotta promote startup China, RIP. You got Lita, you got Trish Stratus coming out the bench, and this is no slight to Lita. You great. You honestly, I can say Lita and Trish was like both when they were at their runs. They were neck and neck, but
when they were at
just like I'm just
when they were
primes. They're primes. I think he said
primes. When they were in primes, like they were neck and neck. Like honestly, like I got to put Lita up there, but I'm gonna have to cut you, and I'm just gonna have to bench Trish. But China, we starting you though.
All right, Jonny.
I don't know how y'all said this shit is easy. This shit
it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
It's
I forgot about it. I forgot about it.
All three, but obviously I'm starting Trish. Like I consider Trish a GOAT. Like Trish thing, and then it gets to the cut and bench part is like the hard part. Like
that was hard.
That is hard because obviously China was really successful. It's just I wish she would have been in it a little longer, especially on the WWE side. Shit. Yeah. Like obviously shit behind the scenes happened and she ended up leaving early. But she probably
Triple H. Sorry, Hunter. Sorry, Paul.
But
Dick.
I'm a bench Lita because Lita brought that Team Extreme style to the women. So it's like you can't knock that. Like
Definitely did.
Doing. That's why I found this so tough. I love all three of them. Like they all have what they brought. Obviously, China was wrestling the male wrestlers. She was intercontinental champion.
Word, yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure she probably was hardcore champion at one point too.
I think she was. I think she was.
Hardcore champion.
Yeah. She was. During the 24/7 period of it.
When everybody was going for the like.
Yeah.
That was a dope time, man.
Yeah.
Sure, like,
didn't they bring that belt back, DQ? I said
they brought back the
24. Like,
it's a 24. Yeah.
So just some ratings from the new they changed like the station. So pretty much our truth is like the 40 fucking times.
Yeah, word.
But
I've been catching some of that.
I'm a huge fan of all three wrestlers, but to me, I consider Trish the GOAT. So I'm gonna start Trish. I love Lita's style of wrestling, so I'm gonna bench her, and it's just unfortunate we put China in this, but China is also one of the greatest women, so I'm gonna have to cut her. But she's dope as they all dope. All three of them.
Yeah, and again, piggybacking off you, John, I have the exact same list. Trish is the GOAT, so she by far has the best career out of them, so she is my starter. Lita has my favorite fighting style. Like
she's flying. She was flying.
Yeah, she was.
They all come from the era where they all like entangled with the men.
Right.
What'd you say?
That plug?
Just making sure.
In the
right. So yeah,
you see them getting
right.
You see like the Dudley Boys are slamming Lita and Chris.
Everybody.
They was getting
We didn't used to get beat up.
No, China's more built to wrestle with the men than they are, but they came from the era where women and men were wrestling.
Yeah, again, China. No slight to China. I'm cutting you. Great.
I love all three. I'm a big fan of all three. It's just unfortunate.
Great fight. I have to cut one. And because Trish is the GOAT and Lita just like one of my favorite women wrestlers to do it because of her fighting style. Unfortunately, I got to cut you, China, but you'll go too.
All dope. All three of them is dope.
All dope. Moving on, we doing start bench cut. We got corners.
Cake.
Here we go again.
Some of the greatest corners to ever play the game. We got Deion Sanders. We got Revis Island, Darrell Revis, and we got Champ Bailey. Kev, starting out with you. Start bench cut.
Woo! So,
bro, this ain't no fucking
cake. This ain't cake, bro.
So,
this is another tough one.
The most important thing in a cornerback's career, for me at least, is interceptions.
Okay.
Right? Overall. So that's the main reason why I'm cutting Darrell Revis.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'll say this.
I don't want to look like but I feel like it.
Darrell gave us some really good years, bro.
What are you talking about?
Yo, mute this man.
Yo. Go ahead,
I feel you.
Nickname aside, like whatever. Don't really want to hear it. You know what I mean? 09 was fantastic. That season.
It's just amazing that you can't get interceptions if they don't throw the ball to you.
That season was off the chain. I mean, I know he's a Jets fan, and I get it.
Right.
Like if they're not throwing you the ball, whatever. But at the end of the day, my starter Prime ended his career with 53 interceptions, bro, and he still wasn't having the ball really thrown to him like that. But again, he had more flexibility to get in and around the field. He wasn't always at cornerback. But Champ, I'm obviously benching because again, he finished with about 50. What I have here, 52 interceptions in his career.
Champ was nasty, though. So like this
Champ
is tough.
Filthy, bro. So
right.
I just thought of it like for me, if I had a backfield and like I had two cornerbacks tag teaming, like for me, Champ and Prime, like I'd be good. You know what I mean?
That's nasty.
And their careers were way like longer than Darrell's too. I mean, towards the end, Darrell was, still, you just got that ingrained in your head, right, Ed? Randy just dogging your boy, right?
One fucking play. One fucking play. One.
You mean
One. One ball gets caught on him, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" It's fucking Randy Moss.
Actually, everybody was.
He does that to everybody.
Everybody was dogging Darrell that year, so I'll just leave it at that.
Prime
Prime had.
Pulling up the stats now. Oh man.
Pull up the stats. I don't care. I got him right here.
Everybody was dogging him that year.
Yeah, everybody.
Who else dogged him that year? Who?
Everybody.
Now Ocho Cinco still got to change his name. That's not his real name no more.
Well, Chad was on the back end of his career at that point.
My man Chad said, "It's Ocho Cinco until somebody stopped me." Only got 13 yards against Revis.
Kev, so you
Prime starting, benching Champ, cutting Darrell, and I got stats here for any of y'all that wants to see.
Eddie, you next. Go ahead, Eddie.
I'm fucking mad, bro. I don't want to talk about this.
Go.
Okay, fine. I am not going to be biased, actually. I'm basing this off of the guys that I watched. Obviously, I know Deion's a legend. I know he's prime time. Like everybody knows, he's a multi-sport athlete. He's great. Unfortunately for me, I did not get the opportunity to fully watch his career. So for that reason, and that reason only, I'm going to cut him. Because I defended myself. It's because I never watched the man play. I'm not going to sit here and talk about a guy I don't know.
First. He gave a disclaimer.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
yeah. For that reason, I'm going to cut him. I never got to see him play. The first corner I ever got to see play corner and play it well and be the first shut down corner is Champ Bailey. That's my starter.
Oh, okay.
Champ Bailey and D'Angelo Hall were the top two. And Ty Law. Champ Bailey, Ty Law. Those are my two. Like, oh shit, man! If my team could get a guy like this, that'd be great.
Ty was almost on the list. Ty was almost up.
Ty got on the Jets, and again, once a Jet, always a Jet. But you were a Patriot as well too.
Just other corners you can bring. Ty
I definitely got another one.
So Champ Bailey, Ty Law again. Those are the guys. Those are my staple cornerbacks. Those are the first cornerbacks. I'm like, damn, like, I want to play cornerback. I'm definitely not as nice as them. Those guys are really good. And for that reason only, that's why he's my starter. And once a Jet, always a Jet. Didn't really like how things ended, getting traded to Tampa Bay. And besides that Randy Moss catch, I remember he was the reason that what's his name? Marcus Mariota was able to catch his own touchdown pass. Revis jumped up in that Chiefs game and knocked down back into Mariota's hands.
Tough,
yeah, but still, Revis Island, Revis forever. That's on my bench. That's it.
I mean, you cut Deion based on you didn't see him. So
again, I didn't watch him play.
Yeah, based on that logic,
like,
what we did the receivers, Jerry Rice started there.
I'm sorry.
What we did the receivers, Jerry Rice didn't get started there.
He was my starter.
Yeah. He was most of everybody started because of the stats.
Well, it was Jerry, Randy, and
T.O.
T.O. I don't fuck with T.O.
So,
period.
Jerry was your starter, and you didn't see him.
What did I
Jerry to me was like more known. I see more. Okay, all right. Let me pull it back. I've seen more Jerry highlights. Okay. I've seen more Jerry highlights than I've seen Deion highlights.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw your logic back to you on that.
Thank you for calling me out on my shit. But it's true. That's the reason why.
All right, DQ. Star bench cut.
Like everyone knows, like Champ Bailey is like one of the GOATs when it comes to that cornerback shit. But he ain't got his own fucking shoe. So it's the exact order it goes in. It's Deion, Darrell, Champ. I'm starting Deion, benching Darrell, and cutting Champ.
You're gonna cut the man that played 14 seasons and got 12 Pro Bowls out of those seasons?
He's got his own fucking shoe.
I'm sorry to everybody.
I'm
sorry to everybody that watches the podcast and realize DQ don't know what he's talking about. When
they don't watch football,
though. He doesn't have his own shoe.
14 years.
He doesn't have his own shoe.
That's the title for this episode.
Right, Drew. Star bench cut.
Yo, I'm gonna start the legend Deion. When you jump from like you in 49ers and then the next season you go 49ers, you win a championship. You're the reason they win a championship. Then you jump ship to Dallas. Then you're the reason they win you get another championship with just 1 year apart. From one team to one team, you win those teams both championships. You're the god, Deon. You can't he's the god corner. He's the god corner right there. So Deon, you starting.
Corner and receiver.
Yes, right too. Right, you're totally right about that. And you a two-sport athlete at that, bro. Like you play baseball too. Like come on.
Didn't he play a game for the Falcons and then the Braves on the same day?
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit.
Yes.
Some crazy.
And then I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna announce it that I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna be benching Darrell. I'm gonna be benching Darrell Reeves. I'm gonna be biased. Yeah, come on, Kev.
No one threw to him, Kev. Like you can't get an interception if they go, nah, fuck that. I ain't throwing it over there.
And then I know with your wide eye, you kind of pissed right now, but I'm gonna be cutting.
You can't cut Champ. Like
I'm sorry, bro. Like the Revis Island get to me, and I'm a Jets fan. Like, what do you want me to do?
Hey, John, star bench cut. Kev, it's all right.
Tough, but obviously starting prime time. Like, obviously we ain't really seeing him play, but
we watch highlights.
You know the history, and you like see his shit. Like you go look back and see what he's done. He's starting. Now this is where it gets tricky because
Revis Island, John.
Yeah, this is where it gets tricky because Revis had the benefit of playing in New York in the media in New York. So obviously he played
the culture behind Revis.
Great, so it boosted it boosted him. Champ was always good.
Always.
Like Champ is really
good.
Like, this is another. It's just like
you should have put Tyler on this, man. You done divided this podcast.
Yeah, and left Revis off, bro.
I would have taken that.
It's at the point you gotta cut somebody. So always been a fan of Champ. I rock with Revis Island. Shit, this shit is tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Come on, John.
The only bullshit about Revis Island, you won your ring for the enemy, bro. Like that's why I hate it.
Definitely wanted it for the Patriots.
You won the ring for the enemy, but you cool in my book though.
They got
a participation award for that ring, bro. He ain't gonna.
It's so hard, but I'm a bench Champ and cut Revis. Tough.
Okay.
Very tough. I like both really good, but tough. I always been a fan of Champ. I was a fan of Champ before even Reeves was in the league.
Yeah.
Dev, before you say yours.
But Reeves, great though. Reeves.
Yeah.
Before you say yours,
I consider Reeves top 5 corners, and even though he played 9 years, I think he's top 5.
He played 10, yeah. The only reason why prime is prime, but I would have put Champ at starting only because of these 2 stats out of 14 years. This man went to the Pro Bowl 12 times. And
Champ or Deon?
Champ.
Okay.
It is not inflated numbers. The boy was a dog, bro.
Yeah. And again, off the strength of that, Deon will be my starter, but ain't no way I can cut Champ. Champ was always good. Always. He ain't. I get it.
Imagine if Champ would have played for one of the New York teams.
Right.
Forget about it, bro.
And again, the benefit of Darrell Revis, he had the Revis Island, and again, a lot of in sports we try to identify with players and their moments and stuff. And again, the Revis Island is an icon and an iconic type of phrase that we use in sports, even if you don't play professionally. But if you play in sports, you playing football and you shut somebody down, oh yeah, I got you on the island. It's so that will always that will live on. But Champ, quiet as kept, is just a fucking dog, and he just plays great ball.
Champ really did his thing, played for the Skins. Now that's retired.
Denver.
Played for the Broncos.
Yeah, it's just always good. So Deon, again, the icon.
Did Champ also get a ring?
Who Champ got a ring?
Did he get one with
Champ got a ring.
his last year with Denver when Peyton was there or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
That sucks, man.
I
Guy
don't
should
think
have got a ring.
Yeah, I don't think he was there when Denver won.
He was
No.
not on that squad.
Yeah.
I don't think
Should have got a ring.
Up now, see, I'm gonna look.
But yeah, Champ, man, can't Champ. Yeah, definitely that guy. All right, start
Giants
this
didn't
cut.
win a Super Bowl.
I knew
He did or didn't?
He was on the Broncos when they lost to the Seahawks.
When they lost, yeah. I knew he was on one of those teams. I wasn't sure which
He
one.
was there when they lost.
All right, for the last star bench cut, we're doing short stops. We got Derek Jeter, Cal Ripken, and Alex Rodriguez. Star bench cut, Kev.
There ain't no Cavs.
All right, what's mine, DQ?
Cavs is
obviously going to start captain.
Starting Jeter.
Starting captain.
benching Cal and cutting A-Rod.
A-Rod, yep.
Now, I'll probably say he's going to bench A-Rod just because he was in the pinstripes and cut Cal because he was in pinstripes, but I'm going to say he's going to start Jeter, bench Cal, cut A-Rod.
Okay.
So I'm not biased when it comes to these things. So I'm definitely starting Derek. Like
Not biased.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Not at all. What are we talking about? We talking about the captain, and out of them, he has the best career batting average out of these other two men. So what are we?
What about hits?
Hits, the most too.
RBIs.
Eddie
I didn't pull up RBIs,
but Cal.
I'm just saying.
Cal Ripken like Mr. 4,000 or some shit like that.
Yeah, Cal
has like 3,000.
Cal's got some stats.
Yeah.
Cal's like 3,000. What 184, bro. Derek hit more than him. But Cal went to more All-Star games.
So you
19. I'm benching Cal, and I'm cutting A-Rod.
Yeah, makes sense.
I never had a lot of love for A-Rod in my heart, bro.
All right.
Drew.
I always did.
Drew, start this cut.
Poor A-Rod.
I'm starting Derek Jeter, El Capitan. I'm benching Cal Ripken, and I'm cutting A-Rod in that order.
All right.
John.
I don't know what y'all motherfuckers talking about. Yankees up. Cal Ripken was never a Yankee, so his ass is getting cut. Great player, but he ain't play for us. I love A-Rod, so he's getting benched, ain't play for us, and I'm starting Jeter, of course.
All right, Ed, star bench cut.
Yeah, I just have to make sure about these stats. Holy shit! Yeah, it's super easy. Starting Jeter, benching Cal. Sorry, A-Rod, cutting you again. This is the second time Jeter and A-Rod has been brought into a start bench cut, and Jeter keeps getting started, and A-Rod keeps getting cut.
Bro, it's obvious. Even if we just did championships out of the three, like
yeah,
playoff.
So here's a funny one I saw. I was just like skimming through. Where are you? MVP seasons. Although Jeter never had an MVP season, Cal had 2. Jeter had 0. But here's my favorite. Are you ready? Playoff appearances. Cal Ripken appeared in 1983, 1996, and 1997. Derek Jeter, 16, 1996 all the way through 2007, 2009 all the way to 2012. So, I mean, come on.
What did Derek got MVP?
He got World Series. No, he got
World
Rookie of the Year.
MVP.
World Series MVP, Rookie of the Year, yes.
Jeter was like the runner-up, I think, 06.
His
Jeter,
first year.
And also, to be fair to both A-Rod and Cal Ripken, they both eventually converted to third base at one point in their career.
All right.
Okay,
so
now DQ.
They ain't shit. They out of shape bums, and Derek still outlasted them at their starting position.
DQ.
You're right.
Star bench cut.
So, the fact you said shortstop, right?
Right.
I'm starting the captain. No, y'all niggas is surprised.
You're not starting Jose Reyes? Oh, wait, never mind. Wilmer Flores?
I'm starting the captain, but I'm also going to have to bench Cal because even though Cal started at third base on shortstop, he's known for being a third baseman pretty much.
Yeah.
And Cal Ripken is literally one of my favorite players of all time. When I first started playing baseball, my first team was orange. I wore number 8, and I had Cal's glove. So, and I had to cut A-Rod pretty much.
All right, following shit, pretty much the consensus. I don't watch baseball like that, but I do know who Cal Ripken is, and I know him for being Mr. 3000, Mr. 4000, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Hit. So starting Derek Jeter because that's a Michael Jordan baseball to me.
Same brand.
And he got his own shoe.
And got his own shoe. Benching Cal and cutting A-Rod, although A-Rod's the guy. But I didn't like Yankees A-Rod. I was more of a
Rangers.
Rangers.
I was a Mariners A-Rod fan.
Bro,
Yeah.
we're talking 5 chips, rookie of the year.
On the Yankees, though, Kev, that's the other part.
And
It's
chip
okay.
And he
I raised
contributed, bro.
I raised the question though. If Derek Jeter played on the bum-ass Houston Astros, would Derek Jeter be Derek Jeter?
That's tough.
I would
Yankees
say-
If Derek Jeter played on the New York Mets, would Derek Jeter be Derek Jeter? That's why he wasn't unanimous in the Hall of Fame. That's really the only thing. Is that
No. You give me that bullshit. He wasn't.
I'm
unanimous.
saying
He wasn't
that's
unanimous
why-
because somebody on that poll
in Boston,
was an asshole, bro.
masshole was a masshole.
Somebody, yo, come
They
on.
look at it as like DJ always had a whip around him.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they say. Is that like, oh, you know, it was the big money Yankees, evil empire Yankees. yada, yada, yada.
Regardless.
But again, to be named the first captain, that's got to mean something.
All right, that's Star Bench Cut.
That's us.
All right,
I feel
guys,
like he's gonna
welcome,
impress us.
welcome back to the OSA, Out of Shape
Okay.
All-Stars. We're getting to our last segment, and that is 5-5. Now, on today's episode, we're discussing bad calls. Shout out to Kev. This was his idea. So
Okay, this was yours. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Kev coming with ideas finally and shit, or a good idea. So, Kev, keep with the good ideas. First of many. So on this one, we're doing bad calls. It's a lot of fucked up calls that's changed sports. A lot of calls that change games and shit. So we discussing the ones that we have the most disdain for, the ones that hurt us the most. So we're doing 5-1, like always, and we're gonna kick it off with Drew. At number 5, what do you have as your number 5 bad call?
Yo, this game was it was the overtime the Rockets against Golden State. I see is overtime. It was like 33 seconds left. They inbound the ball, right? KD has it on the top of the key. He loses the ball, bro. He steps out of bounds so crazy to knock the ball back in. Like that should have been out of bounds. Like they totally did not call that. That was so blatant. Even after the game, you hear fucking what's his fucking Reggie Miller. Like, Kevin Durant just blatant out of bounds, bro. They should have called that, bro. I can't believe they did not call it because that is so blatant. Oh my God, that hurt.
Yeah. I mean, that call again, it's one of those that's like, it's not like one of those where it's hard to see. It was
you see him go out of bounds like he's
the ref didn't catch
running
it.
out of bounds to tip the
You
ball.
ain't trying to
like
win?
that is a call, bro.
Nah, that's a good one, Drew. John, at number 5, what you got?
On number 5 is the sequence of events that led to Amari Stoudemire and Boris Diaw getting suspended for the next game in Spurs and Suns playoff game when Robert Horry hip checked Steve Brown.
Yeah.
And he did that on purpose, and then they ended up suspending. I felt like that was the wrong call, so I went with that as my number 5.
Good pick. Nobody else would pick that, but that's the series of events led to Lakers doing what they did. All right, Ed, number 5.
My number 5 is recency bias that led to an NFL rule change that didn't end up working out. But the 2019 NFC Championship game, we all know the call. He blew him up. It was clear pass interference. That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
Damn, you got that at 5.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because there's a lot more going forward.
I'm pretty sure that's going to show up a few times on this.
No, that's definitely on my list.
All right,
I try to have a variety of sports too, so I'm not just.
All right, DQ.
Yeah, I'll do that too, Ed. Definitely try.
What you got?
So this one doesn't really affect the outcome, just that the call was just completely blown. It's the home run Carlos Delgado hit in Yankee Stadium in 2008 that he called the foul ball that clearly hit the fucking foul ball.
Yeah, this shit had yellow on it, right?
Yeah,
I got the ball.
Yeah, man, the fan was holding it and he still called the shit foul.
Yeah. All right, good pick. Kev, number 5.
My number 5 is I talk about this shit all the time. I don't know who the ref is that called it a touchdown, but Antonio Holmes did not catch that touchdown. Super Bowl 43, bro.
Yeah, we that came up a few times on the pod.
Yo, Super Bowl 43, that ref made a horrible initial call that couldn't be overturned, and Santonio Holmes, who was the lesser receiver on the field that day, what's the name? Larry was more. I'm acting like Durant right now. I can't speak. Was more efficient on the field that day.
Okay,
and if they won the game, Larry would have definitely won MVP. But because of that nut fake looking like catch in the end zone,
they show it all the time too, man. That's all like iconic play. When you talk about the
it's iconic missed call.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so number 5, it ain't really a bad call to me, but I'm sure Jazz fans hate it, but it's an iconic call. The Jordan push. The push.
Oh,
the push. There's a lot of hurt Jazz fans.
I mean,
right
but
now.
I mean, like,
but it's an iconic moment, and again, the picture looked too pretty. The refs, I understand why the refs didn't call it. It was just a great moment. So that good old push, Jordan shot.
Jordan had that comment on Last Dance. It's like me,
he was already going that way.
Yeah, he was already right. He was going that way already. So
I've been in that situation before. Like
somebody turned you around.
No, it wasn't that. So I'm running back on defense, right? But I'm running so fast when the guy gets the ball, he brought the ball back. I'm already running at full speed, so I can't slow down. So he crossed me, brought it back.
He crossed you.
I didn't get caught. I ran out of bounds. He was in the corner. On the left corner, and I was running back. But when he caught the ball, I was already running full speed, and I couldn't slow down.
He hit you with that Steph Curry CP3,
He
right
pulled it
outside line. Go back, act like he's gonna go.
When remember that was that tall ass dude went to school with the white dude who was nice.
I don't know, but we moving on to number 4 on this list.
I know
a bad call.
I got you after DQ.
Johnny. No, I'm sorry, Johnny. Drew.
Yeah, it's you.
You want to put it on me again? Cool.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, we always keep
in order.
We always keep the same.
All right, let's go.
Keep the same order.
Since my man took my shit, but I'm not changing my stance because that still was a bad call. Recency bias, bro. Like he took my call, but we all know that was a push-up. That was pass interference. That was like Roby Coleman should not have been able
push
to
off. He hit him.
Straight
he tackled him.
Straight
took his head off.
Boom, took his head off. No call happened, bro. I ain't changing my list because that was on my list. I'm keeping it. Boom, there we go.
All right.
Yo, Drew, just to jump on what you said, Drew, I was at Johnny's watching that game. It was like 6, 7 heads in the room. It was the first time we was quiet all night. Looked away from the TV and looked at each other like, yeah, we all saw that, right? And then looked back at the TV and was like,
yo, right.
Yo.
Even though Sean Payton crying, like I hate when Sean Payton, the most cryingest coach ever, bro. Like he's I know he be crying too much about that. Like that needs to stop. Like Sean Payton be
no, but honestly, Sean Payton, the Saints being cheated out of some like key moments.
Karma.
You had a chance, even though it didn't cost them the game. They went to overtime. They had a shot to win it, though. We agree. That's an awful call, but they had a shot to win the game. Like,
it could be their karma because they were fucking up my homie Brett Favre when the Vikings played them that year.
Bounty Gate.
Yeah, Bounty Gate. They fucked Favre up. And
Favre got back up.
But they were slapping him, man.
Yeah, there was one play where he got hit and he did like a whole turn before he hit the floor.
And it wasn't a call. It was crazy. Today's NFL.
One hit him high, one hit him low, and two different.
Yeah, he did one of these.
Yo, they pressured his ass like they were fucking Favre up. Bad that year. But Jonny, number 4.
But now my number 4 is obviously the same call that Drew just said, and that was already mentioned, was the non-pass interference call, the Rams versus Saints. I had that at my number 4.
Got you. Eddie, number 4.
I'm changing it just because I want the clip in it, because I want it to be funny. I'll make this number 4 my honorable mention. But when Joey Crawford knocked down Drew Jones and then called the foul on Chauncey Billups. I don't know if you guys remember that play, but and let's just can we just say anything that Joey Crawford calls is a bad call, period, unless it's in favor of LeBron.
I mean, he's highly respected though.
He also called a foul on Chris Camby on Nash in a Suns game, Suns Portland game, when Camby was all the way over here and Nash was at the top of the key. I don't understand how he got called on him. Marcus Camby. Sorry. But yeah, Joey Crawford sucks. He needs glasses.
All right, DQ at number 4.
Number 4 is when Pac-Man got screwed during his fight versus Timothy Bradley. He fucked him up.
Right. Yeah.
That was gonna be a honorable mention on my show.
Yeah. That was a good one. And number 4, I got the events that led to Cleveland Cavaliers winning the 2006 championship.
Have you said your number 4?
Nah.
But my bad, Kev. But that's my number 4. Sorry to skip you. But Draymond getting the tech. They were down 3-1. They wanted LeBron to win that fucking year. So they was working the calls for LeBron, and they came back and beat the Warriors. That was some bullshit tech.
You can't win when it comes to over 3. Like they came back from 3-1.
Yeah, I heard you. I got you, John. But weak ass play.
Come back from 3-1 and
weak ass play. They Draymond and LeBron was all over each other. They called the check on LeBron after the fact, after they threw Draymond out, just to like, okay, we call a check on LeBron too, type. But they were trying to win that championship for them.
But I see like when you win 3 games after that, bro, you can't say it's fool's gold. Like you win 3 games after that, they won the 3 to make it. They came back from 3-1. Yo, I can't rock with that.
Anyway,
Kev,
my number 4. The date is February 1st, 2015, Super Bowl 49. Pete Carroll makes the worst call he's ever made in his career.
That's a good take. That's a good take. And I just went bad as referee calls, but all right, Kev.
Okay, I see where you went.
I like what Kev went.
He did not run Marshawn on 2nd and 1.
Yeah.
Obvious fourth down option to run 2 because they got to get in the end zone. Got 3 downs to run Marshawn, and you don't do it.
Yes, bro.
It was at that moment Marshawn knew he no longer wanted to be involved in an entanglement with the Seattle Seahawks.
That's another one. Y'all remember that episode of The League where it's like the fantasy football show when Marshawn Lynch was on it, and they was like, "Oh, could you pass me a beer?" And Marshawn was like, "Yo, why don't you just give it to me, man? I just walk right there." And he's like, "I think I'm just gonna throw it." He's like, "Yo, but like I'm like right here, dude. Like it'll take like 2 steps. I could go right in." They're like, "Nah, that's cool." And he throws it at him. He's like, "What's the worst that can happen?" He throws it at him. Dude like falls into like the barbecue, catches on fire and shit. Like,
Drew, number 3.
Number 3. Okay. This is a combination. I'm doing it's a combination of plays that because just to say I'm not biased because my man be doing this every time and he never gets called for it. LeBron, every travel play. I agree that man is just allergic to not he never gets called for traveling at all, bro. I be seeing he traveling every goddamn
I mean,
time.
it's the way of the league now, but
James Harden is worse though. He was taking like 8 steps during the
Yo,
It's a pro hop, bro.
Highlight with LeBron is like nearly just walking the half court. I'm like, y'all not gonna call that?
There's a compilation of LeBron's walking, and it's like blatant where he just like picking up the ball, like running around.
Yo, like you my guy, LeBron.
He take 5 steps while he's driving.
All right, John, at number 3.
My number 3 is when umpire Jim Joyce blew.
Damn, John!
That was my fucking 2, John.
Damn, John!
That's my number 3.
I didn't even hear you, John, because they screaming.
My number 3 is when a pitcher that played for
Armando Guerrera.
He had a perfect game. Homie grounds out to first base in the first.
Bottom of the 9th, 2 out.
2 outs, splash out. It's a clear out, but the first base umpire called the batter safe. He called it.
And the reaction you see from the batter, from the pitcher, Miguel Cabrera immediately hands on his head like, what the fuck?
That was a bad. He did.
A bad call.
So to make him feel better,
he should have just called. See, Dev, the point is, he should have just called it out anyway. And if they have to do a review, whatever.
Yeah, right. But he called it.
He called it safe.
Right.
There was no review.
They can't overturn.
That's pre-review.
Everybody wanted him to get that perfect game.
Wow.
Everybody.
That's crazy. It's also funny at the same time. Eddie.
It's terrible. My number 3 is it's known as the hand to God play. Diego Maradona, also known, mostly known for playing soccer, but more importantly known for blowing a shitload of coke while he was playing soccer. Played for the Argentinian World Cup game. His first goal, it seemed a little clearly offside to me as well, but instead of using his head, he kind of punched it in. Maradona's hand to God play.
Yeah. All right, DQ.
My number 3 is pretty much Roy Jones getting screwed out of a gold medal.
Yeah. And he was pissed.
Well, he was.
Busting his ass.
Yo, he was pissed off.
Then on top of it,
they tried to dap it up and shit. Yeah, he wasn't with none of that shit.
Yeah, he dropped that album though, so he was alright.
And what was the crew he had?
The Body Headbangers.
Yeah.
They had one song I used to like though.
Can't be stopped, can't be moved. We hot. When will these niggas? Oh no. Yo, that song pumped me up.
Nah, that was a fire.
We're gonna get flagged. Don't sing it.
Yeah,
RP to Mr. Magic too.
Word, Mr.
Magic. My number 3 is
that first.
My number 3 is the one that arguably started one of football's, if not football's best dynasty, unfortunately.
I know it's coming.
Obviously, the Tuck Rule at 3.
Dang.
Charles Woodson got
screwed, bro.
Yeah, I only put it at 3 just because I just hate giving it any energy. I didn't want to put it higher.
Right.
So, yeah, there we are.
Hey, my homie Rich Gannon, man, they played them boys. All right, number 3, a little different. My number 3 is whoever hired the referees for the NFL 2012.
The replacement refs?
Yeah, the replacement refs.
The most iconic play, though.
And again, the Seahawks Packers game.
Seattle.
Seahawks Packers game.
Green Bay, bro?
Yeah. With the bomb. Yo.
That was an honorable mention of mine. So
again, horrible season of rapping. They fucking suck.
That was the play that packed them all up.
That was right.
You can't take that shit.
Beat it.
Yeah, it was over.
The real referees were like, you're gonna need us?
Right.
Yeah, they literally had refs that were just like reffing high school games.
Yeah.
Bro. They pulled.
I wonder if any of those refs actually ended up getting a job with the NFL.
Permanent job.
I don't know. Probably not.
Maybe
a few, but it was that up until that play, the rapping was horrible that season. So that's my number 3. All right, Drew, number 2.
Number 2, Dallas against Green Bay, the NFC Championship game. Oh no, it was a semis. It was semi-division. It was a divisional round. It was a catch, bro. The fucking Dak threw up the Tony Romo threw up the ball to Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant come down with one. He did 3 steps, bro, before and then they won fucking. Get that? Say he didn't control that ball, bro. That was control. Man.
He was fumbling that ball, though. That ball was moving a lot.
That was a catch to me. That was a catch.
That's caught it.
I'm not with that, bro.
You gotta keep it 100 though. It was a catch, but you gotta keep it 100. He was juggling that ball.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That ball was moving a lot.
But for me, even bro, if I hit the ground. And then I still reclap the ball and I got it, bro. That should have been a catch.
Yeah, it's a catch, fumble, and then recovery.
Right.
Right?
It should have been a catch regardless. The ball never touched the ground. I don't get it. And his shoulder was close to out of bounds, but he didn't go out until after he had the ball.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Tony. When you watch Tony's like True Story or whatever the hell they do for them, like Football Life.
Right.
Yeah.
When they get to that part of the episode, I'll be feeling bad, bro.
Damn. Shout out Tony, man.
No, good one, Drew. John, what you got at number 2?
At number 2 is something that predates us. It happened in 1972. Is Team USA versus Soviet Union basketball.
Yo, John, I hate you, bro.
At number 2, there's a sequence of events that basically the Soviet Union they was down 1. Like 3 seconds left, and they got basically 3 chances to win the game, and the refs ended up giving them time. It was a whole bad segment.
Yeah, and I just recently saw that.
And basically, Soviet Union got the gold. Team USA got the silver. One of the more names people probably recognize is Doug Collins. Doug Collins played on that team.
Yeah, Coach Doug
Collins. And I watched the documentary a couple years ago, and I'm pretty sure they still haven't changed.
Coach the Bulls.
Doug Collins and every player from that team still to this day haven't accepted their silver medal.
Right.
Yeah, still to this day, which is crazy.
They basically got robbed, basically.
Wow. All right, Ed, number 2.
I mean,
John saying it off.
It was John's, but I'm going to do you one better, Jonathan Reyes. In 2002, the Kings played the Lakers in the Western Conference Final.
Oh, the Tim Donaghy game.
Tim Donaghy decided to come out and say, yeah, we were told by the NBA to let Kobe, R.I.P., and Shaq advance. There were 40 fouls called in the game, 24 in one half against the Kings for the Lakers. Fuck you, John. That's what you get for taking my pick.
That was crazy.
Two of my picks.
I remember that.
All right, DQ.
That's what was great back then.
So my number 2 obviously was Johnny's number 3, but I have to give it to J.R. Smith running the ball out versus the Warriors that season.
Oh, right. That bad.
I did that earlier today. Where you going?
Well, what are you saying? That's a bad call on JR?
Yes.
That's a bad call on JR, yeah. That's like you said it was a bad call on Pete.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. All right, Kev.
So this was already said, but that whole AFC NFC championship year 2019, those games, bro, will irk me to the end of time. But the obvious blatant missed call, on I forget who was getting the ball. Who was it? Kamara? Who?
It was Levi. It was Levi. I forgot his first name, but I forgot.
And just the karma for the Rams, bro. They went to the playoffs and they got smacked, bro, because they shouldn't have been there. And the ideal world,
period to go against the Patriots for that game.
Ideal
that
world,
game was trash.
Patty would have faced off with Drew in the playoffs, and that's what
Patty would have smoked them.
Most likely, but because of 2 controversial calls in both of those games, I'm got a free ride.
All right, good pick. All right, my number 2 probably ain't gonna show up on nobody's list. I'm sure it won't. 2 words. Steve Bartman. Now, for a lot of people that don't know you, you got to be from Chicago. Well, it was a big play.
Steve Bartman, the one that brought that one that was
NCLS. Cubs Marlins
catch game where he
Moses,
caught the ball and everybody was mad.
Smacked the ball out of Moses Alou's hand.
Right, smacked the ball out of Moses Alou's hand. This was the game they were going to go on and play Yankees, but Yankees lost to the Marlins that year. But the Cubs was supposed to be their year, and then Steve Bartman, Chicago was ready to kill this man.
Kill and crucify.
No, like it was so bad. This man had like Secret Service type security after losing it for the Cubs. They ultimately gave him a ring when they won the last time. But Steve Bartman, Moses was ready to kill him. They were ready to throw him in the fucking field because of
like, you do that if you on the away team, like the away team.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. You in Chicago. You're a Chicago fan, and he straight whoo and fucked it up for the Cubs. So number 2, Steve Bartman.
That was a good 30 for 30. I remember that 30 for 30.
Nah, true story. Bro, I tell anybody when I'm sitting like front row in a home run territory, Yankee Stadium, that's with me, that's not like mentally like a baseball fan. I'm like, yo,
don't touch the ball.
Home run ball, come over here, and you don't remember me telling you don't reach over this line right here.
Right.
Don't be mad at me when I grab your ass and pull you back from touching that ball.
I'm gonna skip to a quick honorable mention real quick. 96, Derek Jeter's home run. The old kid Jeffrey Meyer.
With the little boy.
And that shit counted, you know why?
Because
we're the Yankees, baby. We're the Yankees. Of course, we got away with murder.
I done told plenty of shorties like, yo, don't reach over this line. The ball comes.
Yeah, I slapped the shit. Yeah, you're gonna get booed. Listen, you can do it, but I ain't defending you.
I'm like, yo, if it's the other team, bro, put your arm out there.
Right.
They might kick you out the stadium, though, but do that.
But again, good one.
I've not been kicked out of Yankee Stadium too many times.
Number 1, bad calls in sports. Drew, what you got at number 1?
My number 1 is gonna be the infamous tuck rule game, bro. Yep. That's my number 1. I had a hard time. It was gonna be. I knew I had one was gonna be top 3, but I extremely shuffled this. Like I wanted to make it sure right placement, but. Yo, for bumming out for they screwed Charles Woodson, even though it's a technical call, but that should be a fumble, bro. Like it's a technical once you read the rule books, like because I want to know like how they word it in the rule books. It's like it's supposed to be technically called, but like that type of play, I mean like. Otherwise, for the technical ruling on how they read it, that should be a fumble. Like we all know that's a fumble when you see it.
I mean, bottom line is the Patriots, they got a staff committed to finding loopholes and doing funny shit, bro.
Right. And again, they made a career out of it. Like they've been doing it, been working the system for quite some time, and the dynasty every year is always attached to some type of craziness. John, number 1. What you got?
My number 1 is also the tuck rule, that tuck game, because due to current events, that play happened. They implemented the tuck rule. Now the tuck rule is not, doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Right.
But they made up, more of like the definition of your arm seems to be going forward. They will give you that thing, but there's no tuck rule.
And again, and they
because he double clutched that shit, bro.
And they only did it to justify the bullshit call. Like, so they put it in and then got rid of it. Like,
but it wasn't the league for a few years though. Like, it wasn't the league for a few years.
Right, exactly.
Bro, anybody that has a football IQ like anywhere above DQs knows that man double clutched that ball so bad, bro. And it was like, oh, that shit.
Don't hit me.
Fumble, bro. Like,
that's my number 1.
All right, Eddie, number 1.
My number 1 was Johnny's 3. Stole it. Went to a little too early on it. Yeah, that perfect game. This was the time of the year where fresh off the Yankees winning the 09 World Series, probably one of the greatest moments of my life. But watching baseball all the time, I would watch random games. And you remember getting those I remember when Barry Bonds was chasing home run records. You get that Sports Center alert, and it'd be like, oh hey, check out this game. We're just gonna put it on because this is news. So I watched that last play live, and man, what a blown call. Jim Joyce, kill yourself, do whatever you got to do.
He was getting death threats all that.
Yeah, yeah. Armando should have had the perfect game.
Kill yourself.
I mean, whatever.
Keep that.
Keep it. Whatever. Who cares? Again, that's not even my team.
He's heard worse. That man's heard worse.
I genuinely wanted him to.
We don't mean that. Don't kill
game.
Yourself. Don't kill
yourself. Don't kill yourself.
It's sports talk.
Maybe you don't ever
work
ever again.
When I was making sure to get the umpire's name, I see that the pitcher Armando, as a May 12, 2020, wants MLB to recognize his game as a perfect game.
It should be.
It should be. He was.
It was. Yeah.
It should be.
Crazy. Right. This is a crazy game.
DQ, number one.
Number one is fairly recent. It's the 2020 NBA dunk contest. They robbed my mans, yo. Fuck D-Wade. Fuck all the niggas, yo.
Yo, DQ, were you in the back of that video on that diss track? Were you there?
Yeah, he was. He was doing the ad-libs or something. Wow.
They robbed my man. I don't care. That was complete bias. I don't give a fuck no one say.
It was in Miami. D-Wade and what was the kid that won? The little skinny
Jones Jr.
Derrick Jones Jr.
Yeah. He was doing some trash dunks, though. He does long as hell and can jump out. But
he had some high dunks.
He was left-handed. That's one thing. His dunks was trash.
Yeah. Dunks I've seen him do before. In-game dunks.
Over Taco Fall, who's 7'7". Come on.
Right. Kev, number one.
All right, so my number one, I like agreeing with Jonny. I hate agreeing with Ed, but I wrote this down and had it at number one. So as far as sports, as long as sports and baseball's been around, man, the holy grail of baseball is a no-hitter, bro.
Perfect game, not no-hitter.
No,
perfect game.
And the thing behind it is we all play some level of team sports, bro. It takes a lot, bro, to be on the same page with everybody. And it takes a lot to have a perfect game. And just for Jim Joyce to blow that game like that for Armando, bro, that shit hurts to see, even just to see highlights. And
even the batter, the guy that made it to first and was called safe, who knew he was out, was like, fuck, dude.
Right.
I should be out. No.
Yeah. His guy should have just walked in fuck it, you got it. He went hard for it. He tried to fuck up the perfect game.
So he would have called him safe anyway. He was jogging.
That would have been crazy if he would have jogged and they still called him safe. That would have been crazy. In times like that, I would actually, if I was the hitter, I would probably let him get it.
Yeah, but you don't want to be the last batter. And again, for pride thing, right? You don't want to be the last batter
on a perfect game.
Perfect game. You don't. You don't want to break it up, but at the same time, you don't feel
definitely low key wanting to break it up, but there's I guess a unwritten rule about that. But certain things, I've seen people pull out bunts and certain situations, and get on and then break the shit up with a bunt. So
yeah, and again, they're trying to get their team to get motivated by getting on.
If you've never seen the footage for that, bro, you gotta watch
and again,
honestly, I know you don't I know you skip clips. If it's been said a lot, play that clip every time we said it because it gets sadder and sadder the more you watch it.
I watched Nohan Santana's no hitter.
Yeah.
That anxiety from not me watching that and just watching that in comparison, how this man got robbed for no hitter, it's insane. He was clearly out by 2 feet.
Yeah, but it was significant.
The part about it, when that shit happened, umpire had the nerve to say that the way the pitcher reacted, he felt confident in his call because the pitcher didn't oh nah, what the fuck? That's a bad call.
He had.
Because they were all shocked. Everybody.
So he's saying the pitcher should have snuffed him.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would have.
At the
Fuck
time,
that.
That's what he said in his statement at the time. He was like, the way the pitcher reacted, he felt like, you got
it. Like,
and Joyce like has come out like after and said like, I fucked up. He was out. Like, yeah.
Well, I have to watch it because
and he's still alive.
I don't know that play, but one play I do know, and which is my number one, and I was rooting for them. Tim Brown, Rich Gannon, Oakland Raiders against them bum ass Patriots. The tough rule, number one for me. That's a bad play. That's a bad play. There were some old niggas over the Raiders, but they were good.
AARP team.
Yeah, but they were playing great that year. Rich Gannon, I think Rich Gannon had a full gray head.
Yeah, easily.
During that season. But they were playing well. This was the beginning, literally the beginning of the fuckery that is Tom Brady. Although he is the GOAT, I'm not gonna knock him, but this is where it started.
The GOAT.
This is where it started. Like that moment is where the Brady Patriots era begun. Like,
no, you know when it started? It started during a game against the New York Jets and the New England Patriots, and they decided Drew Bledsoe's going to get taken out this game. They took him out, and Brady showed up.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that is where it started. That's a great point.
The GOAT.
Short guy. Remind me of Drew Brees. Him and Brees are like them short guys with the arms. But that's our 5-5 for the day. Good one. Good shit. All right, before we get out of here, fellas, we're going to go around, talk about what we got going on. Drew, where you at? What we got going on, Drew?
Just working. Continue to work on this pod. Doing great, and that's what it is. It's a wrap for me. There you go.
That's a wrap for him. Jonny, what you got going on?
Still trying to put some ideas together for to get some more content.
Hurry the fuck up.
Give the viewers something else to watch. Yeah, I'm working on a mastermind shit.
All right, Eddie, what you got going on there?
At some point, I'll keep updating my Instagram, and I will start posting a little bit more private segments here, me, myself, and I. But continue to follow me at Eddie Horchata.
DQ.
Pretty much, been trying to read more Audible books, listen to Audible books, read books about joke writing and storytelling. Working on my craft, like writing jokes and stuff. You can find me on Instagram at justdqit. That's just_DQ_IT. And you can also find me at Deadstock Quality, which is my sneaker Instagram page where I do restorations, customizations, and cleaning.
Good shit. Kev.
Just basically everyday grind, trying to navigate COVID, trying to avoid the out of the closet racist people out there right now. Focusing on the podcast a lot. I'm thriving here, so that's all I got. Oh, and my at KJet_JL. Hit me up and follow Culture Capsule, y'all.
Word. All right, now you can follow me on Instagram at Don Prezi, DONS_PREZI. We got Don Zink Instagram. We got Culture Capsule Instagram. DonsForever.com. We got a new show we're working on called The Kick Game. If you are a sneakerhead and you want to be down with that, link us. Leave a comment here, and myself or DQ will reach out to you. And we got other shows we're working on. Jonny got some shit he's working on. Drew got some shit he's working on. DQ got some shit he's working on. I got some shit I'm working on. We got a lot of shit coming from Culture Capsule. And with that, thank you for watching this pod. Brought to you by Culture Capsule and sponsored by Don's Inc. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Watch our other pods. And also, if you don't have time to watch, you can listen. We streaming. We motherfucking everywhere.
Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Rate and review us. Give us the 5-star ratings.
Yes, we everywhere. A lot of people ain't got time to sit in front of YouTube, man. YouTube, whole ass. If you don't watch it, it close and shit. Although we love you too, YouTube. But y'all got to fix that. People want to listen to it and close the phone.
Yeah, that'd be annoying me.
You got to pay for that. That's premium content.
That's that premium.
Premium content. We will
pay for.
For now, these episodes are free, but soon they won't be.
And it's best to jump on the bandwagon right now, because once you with us, then we start giving you promo codes. We start looking out for you. So like and comment, subscribe, listen, streaming everywhere, Anchor everywhere. The link gonna be in the bio, so you find if you want to listen.
And all of our bios.
Yeah, all of our bios. Information is there. If you want to reach out to any of us or follow us, all this information will be in the bio. So thank you for being here. See you guys next week. And like always, Eddie.
We out.
We out.